I'm sure, but I'm not sure that's the best song to be playing in today's climate.
Well,
she's asking. She's requesting.
Yes.
Something that's.
So I think it may lead some men to do things they shouldn't do.
That's a lesson there. Is that she'll let you know when it's okay.
Very clearly.
Very clearly.
Very.
But it's Sinead's birthday today.
Sinead O'Connor.
Yes.
On
this day.
Thank you.
Yes.
51.
51 what?
Years.
Oh, she
old.
looks way worse than that.
Well, she's got the extra crazy.
It's too bad too because she was really just a charming, lovely. Not
Very,
charming, but
no.
She was never
talented.
charming.
She was always kind of sour.
Talented and,
talented.
and lovely.
And the thing is, what ended her career really essentially was tearing up the picture of the Pope on Saturday Night Live.
That kind of
because she was way ahead of this whole boy molestation thing. She knew about it and was trying to tell people about it.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to hear about it.
And they didn't want to hear about it. And subsequently, it kind of ended her career. But she was right.
Yep.
You know?
Oh, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I was up late making fruitcakes.
Now,
and there's brandy involved.
I heard you for the fruitcake or for you?
Well, it was, a little bit for the fruitcake, then a little bit for Bill.
Now, I heard you talking to Dylan Allred, who's not your son, but Dylan Allred, about the fruitcake and saying...
He's my son, except in the introduction of the show.
Oh, okay. And saying that you're starting the fruitcake too late. Why are you even bothering this year?
Well, it'll be fine. I mean, it's still got... I won't cut into them till the 25th of December.
Mm-hmm. Because explain to people what you do, because I didn't know this is how you made fruitcake.
Oh man,
it's a process.
It's so the first thing you do is you get all of this candied fruit and dates and figs and raisins and nuts and mix them all together in a big bowl, and then you pour a cup and a half of brandy over them and let them sit overnight. And then you add to that 6 cups of flour. You cream some eggs and brown sugar together, but there's almost no liquid. I mean, that's as liquidy as it is.
Yeah.
And then you start adding flour, like a half a cup at a time, and kind of kneading it into that, and it ends up with this big. And in the flour there are other spices, and it ends up with this big ball, sticky, dense ball. And so you take it and you pack it into baking pans, bread pans, pack it in there, and put them in the oven for like 2.5 hours on a really low heat. Then you take them out, you stick some holes in them and stuff, and you pour brandy on them, and you have cheesecloth that you've soaked in brandy, and you wrap them up with this cheesecloth, and then I wrapped them in foil, and I set them down in the basement. And then I'll go down there in a couple of days, and I'll open them up carefully and pour some more brandy on them.
Just doesn't sound healthy.
Well, it's not. Look at me. I was up late doing this, and the brandy was good. All right, we got to take a break. I know. So, and then we'll officially begin the show. I fell onto my Mattress Firm mattress.
You didn't get any brandy on it, did you?
No, but the minute I hit the mattress, I was out like a light.
Did y'all do this morning what I did this morning? And that was, as soon as the alarm went off, you thought to yourself, okay, what can I do to get back here?
Yeah. You calculate the
right
hours
away.
till you can get
I
back.
did, because I have an event tonight. So I'm going to go home and nap on Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's having a big sale, and you'll always want to return to the mattress that you get there. Or if you want to return the mattress you buy there, if for some reason you don't like it.
120 days after you buy it, you have. I bet you're not going to take it back. But if for some reason you do.
That is too lenient of them, I think.
Listen, their big sale, you get a free box spring when you buy Your Perfect Mattress. Mattresses store-wide start at just $199. If you want to find a Mattress Firm store, easy. Go to mattressfirm.com.
This holiday season, X96 and Mark Miller Subaru want to share the love with those who need it.
Okay, I need you to help me with something.
What?
So I'm leaving today for my spring break trip,
Yeah, I was going to ask you some stuff about that.
going to Maui.
Wow.
And part of what we're going to do there, we're going to go to Molokini, which is supposedly one of the best snorkeling places in the world. Richie is thumbs up. Have you done this, Richie? Will you come in here then?
And so, what? Why will you do that? Because you won't.
Well,
use
so
snorkeling.
here's
This
the
does not
thing.
sound like
So
something
here's
that
the
you
thing.
will do.
So here's the thing.
Now, is this just you and your husband?
No, the kids are going too. The little kids.
The kids are going to ruin it.
Festus
Yeah,
is
they will.
Festus is staying home, but the little kids are coming.
One of them will get sick. One of them will.
And so we're going to stay at the same hotel where Joe and I got married.
The Goose Crap Hotel.
They were swans.
Uh-huh.
The Swan Crap Hotel.
Okay.
That makes it better.
And now, when we were there and then we went on our honeymoon, Joe said, "Let's go snorkeling." I don't know if you guys remember this story.
We actually played it on Best of this
Did
last.
we?
No, I'm just teasing.
You got, but
Maybe.
you guys had the flu or something. Didn't
Well,
you?
there was that, but then we said, we're going to do stuff. So we went and rented. I'd never been snorkeling.
Oh, facing the water. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Went, and he just took me to some beach, okay, we're just going to go snorkel. And I got in the water and I put my face in the water and I felt like I was dying and I came out and it lasted 5 minutes.
And why at that point, I wonder, and I should ask him, why didn't he just look at you and go, I've made a huge mistake getting
because in
married
my
to you."
mind, snorkeling, it's this tranquil
Well,
pool.
it can be.
Well, and I'm told that's what Molokini is like, because it's
Yeah.
like a crater,
yeah,
so
probably,
it kind
yeah.
of protects from.
A
There's
little
not
bit,
big
so you're- yeah.
waves coming.
Yeah. There's not a lot of waves like that. No.
So
So here's what's going to happen. You, let's see, so Joe and Jonesy and Muhammad are going to be out there snorkeling, and then they'll come back up to the beach and say, "Mom, you really should come out here. There's so many beautiful fish to look at." And you'll, well,
so of course,
I'm reading in style.
I googled Molokini sharks just
Of course you
because.
There's some out there.
Just because
There
I'm.
probably are some, but
Because there's
Did you-
beautiful fish to eat.
Did
No.
you see some?
We didn't see any sharks, no.
you know what, Gina? If there, at least. I think 6 times a year people are dragged off by sharks at Molokini.
Don't
At least
say
6,
that.
At least 6 times.
Yeah,
a year.
why they let people go there? I don't know.
Okay, Jaws really screwed me up. And I'm not even talking about the movie. I read the book and then saw the movie, so I have double stuff with sharks. And I'm petrified. I don't even like pools that I can't see the bottom of. Because there
Well,
could be a shark down there.
Is Molokini like the one that we went to in Honolulu?
Hanama Bay.
Hanauma Bay.
No, so
Hanauma
Molokini-
Bay is like a fish preserve, and so they have like a fencing kind of thing that keeps the sharks out.
Yeah.
Is
No.
Molokini like
no,
that?
no.
All
it's,
right.
it's just a little landmass, and you can't actually even go onto Molokini. You have to charter out there.
Right,
and
we're
then
on a
you
boat
just,
and-
you just
yeah.
go from the boat into the water,
I see.
back on the boat
Oh,
again. They
that's
don't let
gonna-
you on the land.
Oh, that's going to be bad for you.
Yeah.
I said I needed your help.
So what's your question? What do you need help on?
Here's the help I can give you. Make sure that they have snacks on the boat.
There's drinks. All of them, all the charters will have alcoholic
Yeah.
beverages.
Yeah, so have a white wine spritzer, and a bag of Raisinets, or some chips or something, and don't worry about it because you won't get in the water.
96 or text us at 33986. Message
Yeah.
and data rates apply.
Yep.
We forgot to ask for your check-ins. 877-602-9696. If you call us, you can be a part of the least popular feature we do on the show. And part of the reason it's the least popular feature is your phone calls.
Can we do a quick traffic here? Because I guess there's some stuff going down.
Yeah, it's 45th South to the I-80 East interchange. There's a rollover accident with one car on fire. There's only one left lane open at the exit ramp. Traffic is backing to 33rd South.
Where is the car on fire?
45th South to the I-80 East interchange. Now there's a secondary crash on I-15 northbound. This is before the I-80 East turnoff where the multi-vehicle crash has created huge delays in Murray. So now there's another accident in that same area. That's traffic.
All right. Now let's officially begin the program, and while we're doing that, maybe you'll call and check in with the Radio from Hell show at 877-602-9696.
Brought to you by Haster Games. They have the best selection of the latest board games, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. It's a great place to stay and play. Remember, Haster has it located at 6831 South State and online at hastergames.com.
The moon, 69.1% of full. It is a waning gibbous moon. It'll be gone December 17th, new moon. And it will set today at 12:03 p.m., today being Friday. It's the 8th day of December in the year of our Lord, 2017. And this is North America's most nuclear, or if you prefer, nuclear.
I don't prefer that.
Radio broadcast.
We are nuclear.
It's the Radio from Hell show starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Kerry Jackson, the Atom Smasher himself, Bill Allred, a little atom running around a big atom, and Gina Marie Barberi, who Fusion is her middle name.
It is Gina Fusion.
I was just trying to relate it all to nuclear.
Okay.
Nuclear.
Okay, fine. And today is, by the way, Brownie Day.
I love a brownie.
Well, it's your day then. But it's
warm
also
brownie.
something called Take It in the Ear Day.
What?
Take It in the Ear
You
Day.
shouldn't put anything in your ear.
That's what people do with this show every day.
And I
Take it right in the ear.
So this where I get this, they say, Take It in the Ear Day. We don't know where it came from, and we don't know what it means.
All right.
Well, how do we celebrate it then? Check-ins brought to you by come into IFA for huge savings on unique gifts with all the special people in your life. IFA Country Store is helping grow the things you love.
How do we celebrate it? Take It in the Ear Day? You don't want to find out. I don't think you want to know.
Okay.
I think we're going to take it in the ear right now.
Yeah.
Check-ins.
Oh, okay.
All right. Our old friend Chicken Rob is back.
Chicken
Fresh
Rob.
to my ear hole. Fresh to the ear hole.
He's
Loving it.
taking it in the ear.
Every day.
Chicken Rob, how are your hens doing?
They're all gone, man. It's winter, so they are out. I do have my two main chicks in the car.
I didn't know that.
Wait a minute.
By the way, I didn't know the chickens migrated south for the winter. I was not aware of that.
Wait a minute. Now you just
That's what we tell them, you know.
You just
Well,
said
one day I'm gonna get my grapes perfect, so they're fermented and they can go down a little tipsy. So
you
but
just
that's when I
said that
retired.
you have two chickens in the car with you right now.
Oh, two chicks. My daughter and my wife. Taking them to the airport, going home to Hong Kong.
They're finally leaving you. Is that it?
Taipei. Yep, they had enough.
We're leaving you. Could you please drive us to the airport?
I was lucky enough to
Yes,
have
ma'am.
met Chicken Rob
Yeah, you
at
told me about
Anime
that.
Bonsai, and he's an interesting fellow.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
I can tell.
Didn't
Yeah.
you say he has a chicken tattoo or something?
What are your tattoos, Rob?
I have an old Marine Corps tattoo, the old pirate tattoo. It's a pig and a chicken on your feet on the top. Helps you not to drown. So
That's what
so a
that's
chicken
what the
and a pig.
Marines believe. Yeah.
Well, he hasn't drowned. Look, he's
pirates, anyways. Nope, I'm still swimming just like Nemo. So, all right, guys. They wanted to hear it on the radio when we drove to the airport.
All
There you go. Good luck.
See you later,
Have a
Chicken
good
Rob.
flight.
Bye bye.
It's a long flight.
Now, see,
I haven't thought about getting a tattoo, but if you put a pig and a chicken on your feet, you won't drown. I think I need
Because isn't that one of your fears?
That's one of my fears is drowning.
I've heard that, and we should look it up and find
Yeah,
out
I'm
the
gonna look.
derivation
Sounds
of it.
like science to me.
It may be my first tattoo.
There you go. Kevin. It's Kevin.
Hi, Kim.
Well, hello. I need 100% today because I'm getting neutered.
You're
Whoa.
getting neutered today. Oh.
Well, now you're not getting neutered. Because that would mean removal.
Maybe he is.
Well, that's fair, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's the same
No,
thing.
it's not the same thing.
No, it's not.
It's not the same thing at all.
No. I said to the doctor, though, listen, I want to be absolutely sure, so why don't you just cut it off? Just do that. And he said, well, all right. It costs you a little more, but... Well, good luck with that.
It doesn't have a tremor.
No, it'll be fine.
Good luck. It's really not... it's not very... There's not much to it, really.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Okay?
All right, thanks.
You'll probably faint.
Well,
Bye, Kevin.
it's pretty simple why the pig and the chicken would prevent the sailor from drowning.
One on each foot.
One
right?
on each foot. Those are two animals that do not like the water.
Well, then why don't
So-
you have a cat on there?
Yeah, I don't...
I mean,
Marines, sailors are weird.
okay. Let's see. And back to Kevin. As someone who has had his left one removed, trust me, what you're going to have happen is not being neutered. All right.
877-602-9696. There are a couple of lines open if you want to check in.
Sid. Hello, Sid.
Sid, how are you?
Good morning.
What's
I
up?
am glorious. How are you?
Very well. Well, I'm kind of out of it a little bit because I was up late with brandy and fruitcakes.
Oh yeah, I've got to do that. I haven't done mine yet.
Well, it's almost too late, I would say.
Yeah, I know. Maybe it'll be New Year's fruitcake this year.
Yeah, hey, maybe that's a good idea. Maybe I'll let them cure. I'll open one and see how they are. Sid.
I didn't
Yeah,
know anybody else knew the brandy trick though, so that's cool.
My mother. She.
There you go.
Yeah, me too. My mother.
Yeah,
exactly.
Brandy or bourbon works as well, but I like the brandy better for the fruitcakes because it's a grape product.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother also, she knew a lot about. She liked to drink, but she would always have something to,
A little nibble.
I'm not feeling well, and the only thing that will make me feel better is Southern Comfort. 100, the 100 proof Southern Comfort.
Really sweet.
Yeah, but it has to be the 100 proof. Of
course.
And she'd cut it with a little hot water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
Yeah,
All right.
it is. Sid, thanks for checking in.
Okay.
Okay, good to check in. Have a great day, guys.
We'll
You
see
too.
ya.
See ya.
Let's go to Emilio. Hello, Emilio.
Morning, Lords and Ladies.
Morning.
Are you at Netflix right now working?
No, I'm actually off today.
Well, when you go back in, I wish you would speak to them about their rate increases. I'm not happy.
No one is happy.
No one is happy, as Carrie said. I've been
But
in
you
bed all
also
day.
won't get rid of it.
No.
You'll pay it.
No,
You'll
wait.
suck it up
Oh,
and pay it.
I'm hearing there's one guy who is happy about
Oh,
it.
it's-
He's thrilled. He says he gets so much enjoyment out of Netflix, he feels like he's underpaying you.
It's the president of Netflix, Gary. That who's,
Right. Oh, is that who that
Yeah,
is?
that's
Just
who
a
that
voice
is.
in my ear. I don't.
Hey, Emilio,
What's up?
what do you do at Netflix?
I'm just a customer service representative, so I just take calls all day.
Oh, so I can call you and bitch about the increase.
And he
I mean,
can't.
if you want to, you can.
Yeah,
He
okay.
can't do anything about it. And
Yeah.
We got to go, Emilio.
Thanks for checking in with us.
We'll see you.
Take care.
All right. Sheena is here. Hello, Sheena.
Good morning, Lords and Lady in Waiting.
How
How
are-
are you guys this morning?
We're well. How was your day yesterday, Sheena?
It was pretty great. I'm excited that we got to hear from Chicken Rob. It's been a while.
Yes.
we were worried about Chicken Rob.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. The trip to the printer on Tuesday was awesome.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
to
That's,
recap.
For
that's
the
right.
smelly
really
oil.
cool.
Smelly oil labels.
Essential Oils, the Young Living Farm. And are you going to email us some of the artwork?
I was going to send you some pictures of different things that I worked on, but I haven't had a chance to do it yet. So
All right.
I'll get it today, I promise. I
All
won't
right.
forget.
All right. Thanks, Sheena.
Yeah, Bill's been
Yeah,
complaining
have a good
about it.
day.
Yeah. Yeah.
When am I going to get
Since we
that
talked to him,
email?
where's
I
that
thought we-
essential oil art? I want to see that.
I can't go on with my day until I.
Let's see. Teacher Emily checking in. Kimberly checking in. Let's see. Boise Eli checking in. Army Jane.
I don't think this is true. Sammy Davis Jr. checking in.
Well, he
Happy-
says it's his birthday.
Oh,
Really?
the Candy Man.
Let's see. Friend in Spanish Fork. Did you guys decide not to do the intro song? I missed the opening today because he's the one who thinks that we should get rid of the song. He wants us just to start talking right away.
Yeah. No.
No, we did a song. Let's see. Checking in for another 16-hour shift cooking here at Cafe 300 in Provo. Sparky the Dinosaur checking in. All right, looks like we got to do something. Stephanie checking in.
Yeah, there are a few people out there, I guess, they're depending on us to provide some sort of information and entertainment.
All right, so we got big boy news and Opinioendo coming up after these. And then are we, do you have your list? Is that what it is?
No, you're going to do
are we doing emergency
impromptu
geek news?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure whether we were swapping that or not.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, we did say we were doing it. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All right, because
I'm foggy.
Say I could get ready, but I'm not
No,
ready.
we're going to do that later. There are geek news happenings.
Okay.
We'll do that at 8:45. Yeah. But your news is next, so stand by for that. Let's see now. Got to tell you about Omaha Steaks.
Give the gift of meat this holiday season.
Box of meat.
This is a great gift, and this is such a great deal as well. Mm-hmm. And that's what's great about this. Omaha Steaks, only $49.99. You can get the family gift pack. And like I said, what I've if you can't be with family, send this to them. I've done that this year. Or if you're going to visit family, send this ahead, and then you can all grill together.
Feed me this while I'm staying with you.
Exactly. Family gift pack, $49.99. There is some shipping involved, but for $49.99, here's what you get. 2 filet mignons, 2 top sirloins, 2 boneless pork chops, 4 boneless chicken breasts, 4 kielbasa sausages, 4 burgers, 4 potatoes au gratin, 4 caramel apple tartlets, 1 Omaha Steak seasoning packet, and because you heard about it here on X96, they're going to throw in 4 additional kielbasa sausages for free. But this is the way you get this deal. You have to go to omahasteaks.com. And on their website, you'll see their search bar. And in the search bar, search their website for X96. Hit enter, and it'll take you to the place where you can get this family gift pack at a 75% savings. It's going to be a hit. Oh, yes, traffic.
Yeah, there is a lot going on. We've got stopped traffic from 45th South to the I-80 East interchange due to a rollover crash. There's a car on fire. Now there's a secondary crash, I-15 northbound. This is before the I-80 East turnoff where the multi-vehicle crash is creating huge delays in Murray. Crash northbound Bangor Highway 35th South. It's mostly affecting drivers from westbound 35th South trying to merge onto northbound Bangor. Brought to you by Snow is Coming. Your car or truck should be equipped for it now. Snow tires, Big O tires, $39.95 is where they start. New wipers are also a good idea. Big O tires, the team you trust.
X96 gives you a 1-hour nonstop music wingding with John Smith right after Radio from Hell.
It's Karl Malone Auto Group's massive end-of-year sale. New Toyotas, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, Rams, Mitsubishis, and used vehicles just $88 down and $88 a month. Once we make a deal, we'll pay off your old car no matter how much you owe. Visit KarlMaloneAuto.com.
Your turn, kids. What are you most thankful for?
Definitely our CenturyLink internet. I've been streaming football all day.
Yeah, it's super fast when I video chat with my friends.
And I'm thankful our monthly rate won't change for as long as we keep our plan.
CenturyLink Price for Life Internet. No rate hikes and no contract. With speeds up to 100 megs and fast in-home Wi-Fi included, it's a gift everyone will love. Switch now at CenturyLink.com. Service offer and speed may not be available in your area. Limited time offer for qualifying residential customers only. Restrictions and taxes apply.
I hate my car. Siri, who's gonna give me the most on my trade?
You're right. This car sucks. Go to National Auto Plaza. They guarantee the most on your trade.
Colby Hampton, legally I can't tell you how much more we'll give you on your trade-in. Come into National and find out for yourself. We have cars, trucks, and SUVs, you know, the ones you really want to own, from a $3,000 Subaru to a Range Rover Sport. It's the best or nothing at National Auto Plaza.
Slack takes the hardest part of all our jobs, communication, and makes it simpler, more pleasant, and more productive. Whether you're collaborating, brainstorming, striking deals, approving expenses, standing up with your team, or sitting down with a new client, you can do it all in Slack. Because Slack is where work happens. Visit slack.com/SLC and sign up now to get $100 in credits toward a future upgrade.
Hey, college basketball fans, there's only one place you can see the Utes, the Cougars, the Aggies, and the Wildcats all on one night, and that's Vivint Smart Home Arena. Zions Bank presents the Beehive Classic on Saturday, December 9th. The University of Utah takes on Utah State at 5:30. Then BYU battles Weber State at 8. Ticket info at vivintarena.com/events. The Beehive Classic is also brought to you by your local Ford stores, Larry H. Miller dealerships, and University of Utah Health.
Brighton Resort is now open. In case you hadn't heard, Brighton has the goods. On average, over 500 inches of annual snowfall, 1,050 acres, and 1,875 vertical feet of incredible Utah skiing and riding. 100% of Brighton's terrain is accessible by high-speed quad. Plus, kids 10 and under ski and ride free. Coming up on Friday, December 15th, Friday night skiing at Brighton is just $25 when you show your X96 Workers Union card at the Brighton ticket office.
Now.
On X96.
All right, 6:34. Let's do some big boy news and opiniondo.
I will. I forgot to acknowledge the staff this morning. The people who support us so that we can do this program.
Couldn't do it without them.
Couldn't do it without them. I forgot to mention that we have a very fine senior executive producer. His name is Richard Stedman. I believe it's Richard Thomas Stedman.
You would believe correct.
And he is also the lady in waiting to the Radio from Hell show. And then we have also on staff here, very fine support from Dylan Allred, no relation, who does video for the show. You can see us live at x96.com/live. Pictures accompanying the news we're about to do. And then also Nick's your buddy, Nick's your pal is here.
No.
Oh, no, it was Festus, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I just just barely saw him as I rushed by.
I felt a hand on my shoulder behind me, and I went, "What? Who's touching me?"
Sexual harassment.
And I turned around. I'm like, "Oh, Festus, I made you. You can."
It's my boy.
you can tap my shoulder.
I made
you.
Yeah.
All right. Big boy news and opiniondo now, brought to you by
Carl Malone Auto Group's massive year-end sale. New Toyotas, Chryslers, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Mitsubishi, and other used vehicles, just $88 down, $88 a month. Once they make a deal, they pay off your old car no matter how much you owe. Visit carlmaloneauto.com.
Well, Gina, I like to start with a story for you.
I appreciate it when you do.
This is, again, a story of murder, which I know you like a lot.
I do.
And the more gruesome the murder, usually the better you like it, right?
Well, I like the details. Yeah.
You do. You sort of.
Because I like to piece together the crime scene, how it happened.
Murder. So let's try this one then.
Murder.
Sorry, I'm just looking at a headline that just popped up there. This is the story of Thomas Chris Lang. who has been sentenced to life in prison for the stabbing murder of Australian socialite Maureen Boyce.
Ooh, socialite. See, there's a good detail.
In her Brisbane apartment in 2015.
Murder.
Now,
Murder.
Ms. Boyce, her family broke down in tears when they discovered Lang's fate on Tuesday afternoon after a trial that ran for 2.5 weeks with intimate details of their private lives.
Ooh.
The New Zealand-based doctor was accused of murdering his 68-year-old on-again, off-again lover by impaling her to a bed with a kitchen knife.
Ooh.
He pleaded not guilty, claiming that the former model had become so distressed on the night she died that she had committed suicide.
Not that way she did.
By impaling herself with a kitchen knife through the stomach. I mean, and it went all the way through into the bed.
You don't do that to yourself.
No. The Lang made phone calls to 000, that's 911 in Australia, that morning, where he told operators he had found his fiancée dead in her bed. He said, "The stab wound looks self-inflicted." However, the jury rejected those claims and agreed with prosecution that Lang had told a series of lies to cover up the fact that he had stabbed Ms. Boyce in the bed.
Murder.
So there you go. Story for you. I hope you enjoyed that.
I did.
There are more details, but we don't have to. The fires in California.
They keep getting worse.
The flames, well, the headline in the New York Times is, "It burns and it keeps burning." That's a quote from a firefighter down in Southern California. Now, the flames raced across brittle hillsides like advancing armies, is the description here, up and down Southern California's canyons and coastlines. They stormed into neighborhoods, engulfed homes where people were using sprinklers and garden hoses as a last desperate defense against the wind-driven wildfires. On yesterday, the hot, dry winds sparked new fires in San Diego and Riverside County. And up the coast, nearly 200,000 people forced to evacuate. Residents in areas already charred by wildfire worried that the strengthening erratic winds could ignite new fires at any moment. The flames have now gone all the way to the Mexican border. And I'm just worried that it's going to, I hope it doesn't burn down President Trump's new wall that he's put up. I'm sure that
the practice walls
haven't
they're doing.
No, hasn't he built it?
I think they're doing practice walls.
What, he hasn't? The wall hasn't been built.
No, I don't think.
Day one, I will.
He hasn't built the wall.
No.
Oh, that surprised me. And you know that video we had yesterday, and it's gone all over the country and all over the world, of the guy saving that bunny from the fires on the side of the road, the 405. They said, well, that's great, but he shouldn't have done that. You should just leave the animals alone. That bunny might have escaped the flames, but the bunnies they have their babies in burrows under the ground, and that could have been some baby's mama that he
don't interfere with the
plucked away.
wildlife.
And they say, as sad and as hard as it may be, just don't mess with the wildlife. Leave them alone.
What they said is how you can help is put buckets of water out in your yard, because as the animals come down out of the mountains, they're going to be thirsty, and just leave them in your yard for them.
I'm looking at the footage, and I'm like, I drove that road on Thanksgiving. I was there.
Yeah.
I did, I was in that whole area.
Yep.
Now, the day after
gone.
Utah County Commissioner Greg Graves faced calls to resign amid allegations of sexual harassment, we talked about that yesterday. The county attorney's office released its findings of an investigation into the claims that he had sexually harassed someone. And we talked about that yesterday, that they thought they had investigated it thoroughly. Well, what they found, they said, we can't substantiate the actual claim of the sexual harassment, where the woman said he put his hand on my thigh and said, if you don't want it touched, you shouldn't expose it.
Right.
But they did find that he's a bully.
Oh.
He bullies people, not just her, but other people. He has a bad temper, and he bullies people, and no one likes to work with him, is essentially what the finding was by the investigator.
He's got a bully haircut, I'll say that.
Al Franken, forced out of office, I guess. Not forced, yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
He didn't want to resign.
No.
But there was pressure from his colleagues, particularly his female colleagues.
Make an example out of him, and then look to the Republicans and go, okay, what are you going to do about yours?
And they just laugh.
Yeah. There are a lot of people who have said that Al Franken also doesn't really seem to think he's done much wrong. Because he dismisses the claims, essentially. Well, I don't remember it that way. That's not the point, Al. Whether you remember it that way or not, that's the way it was, if the woman says so. So now Senator Orrin Hatch,
yes,
Representative Mia Love, say that Al Franken was right to step down.
What about Roy Moore?
Roy Moore,
What about
Orrin?
the president?
What about the president?
What about the president of the United
Who
States?
admitted
Mia?
on tape that he sexually
repeatedly
harassed
on the Stern
women.
show. There's tape of him talking about how he likes on his beauty pageants to go in while they're dressing.
Yeah.
He said that.
There are 20 women who came forward with various claims of sexual harassment against Donald Trump. One woman claims he raped her.
Mm-hmm.
They're just trying to get him. That's what
All
it
of
is.
them.
They're all of them. They're just trying to get him.
The United States.
He's the president.
Thank you for just having
he is
that.
the president of what, Kerry?
United States.
Oh, you okay. Good. Because I don't think he's the president of the United States.
United States.
Yeah, there.
United Snakes?
Yeah.
All right.
And one more.
Sure.
Rocky Mountain Raceway. Say so long.
Yeah.
Really?
They're going to close it down.
Oh.
Next year. One more
Yeah,
season.
One more season.
I'm sure we'll do a final hurrah out there.
I hope so. The lease for the track in West Valley City will expire, and the owners are planning to use the 60 acres there for commercial development.
Oh, so it's not that Rocky Mountain Raceway isn't popular. It's because it's popular. I mean, I know when events happen out there, it's always busy.
Young Automotive Group has owned and operated the raceway since 1990. The company sold the land to Freeport West, but then received a 5-year lease to continue operating the raceways. The facility has a National Hot Rod Association sanctioned drag strip. But they're
It's
Mike, you know, who was the GM out there, Mike.
Yeah, I've been out there forever.
His father was a starter when the track opened in 1968 as Bonneville Raceway. And he grew up at the raceway, met his wife there. He's the general manager now. And he says, I can't tell you how many people tell me they met here, they fell in love, had children here, raised their children here. He said, this place is special. I hope Mike
Hope he's okay.
has something to go to and do.
That's too bad.
Because I know he loves that place.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
It is
but there
unfortunate.
It is. All right.
All right.
That's it.
Sports weather traffic.
Let's see. Jazz lost second game in a row, 112-101 to the Houston Rockets. And University of Utah's Matt Gay, he's our kicker. He won the Lou Groza Award, so congratulations to
I've
him.
always wanted to win that award.
Well, you
I've
need to
tried
kick
and tried.
more
I've
things.
kicked a lot of stuff. They just have never recognized me.
United States.
Ass, there's no award for that, Bill. There's no.
I've kicked a lot of ass.
There's no award. Open enrollment questions. Today at 9, we'll have a special guest, Greg Reed from Select Health, on the air talking about health insurance open enrollment. For more information, go to selecthealth.org.
Bear in mind that the period is shorter for open enrollment this time because the Republicans said, if we can't repeal the Affordable Care Act, we're going to make it more difficult for you to use it.
Yeah.
We'll learn more about that at 9 o'clock. Air, weather, bad. We're in.
It's Frankenweather here.
We're in a period where it's really cold overnight and in the morning, only getting up to the mid-30s, and then the air will get progressively worse as the week goes on. Okay, we've got crash northbound Bangor Highway 35th South. It's mostly affecting drivers from westbound 35th South trying to merge onto northbound Bangor. There's a crash I-15 northbound just before the I-80 East turnoff. Car fire 45th South to the I-80 East interchange due to a rollover crash. crash northbound SR 36 at Erda Way. Multiple vehicle crash, left lane and shoulder. UHP isn't even on the scene of that one yet. That's traffic.
Good Lord. What
Yeah, I
happened
don't.
Friday morning.
I don't know.
All right. Let's see now. Let's see. Coming up, we got meh question. Also, a little bit later on, I'm going to tell you Punk is selling some of his toy collection today.
And it's big.
And he does have a massive toy collection. He's selling it. You might be able to go there today and buy some.
Where is that?
I'll tell you right now?
Sure.
Okay. Well, you get your list together. It is today at the University Neuropsychiatric Institute at 501 Chipeta Way.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It's
you just go up there into Research Park, and it's like the next right past Evan Sutherland, whatever that is.
It's the main floor auditorium from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. He's going to have Star Wars, superheroes, action figures, Hot Wheels, and anything else he can get ready. They're letting him set up there to sell his toys. It's like a kind of a market that they set up. They let people set up and sell stuff.
And it's a fundraiser because he's had a lot of medical bills.
It's to help pay for his medical bills. So, all right. And I'll repeat that again later.
I've got a list of things that men shouldn't say to women.
Oh, good. Let me write that down so I can say them.
And some of these you might be surprised. You might think, well, I didn't mean anything by that.
Well, I guess it's a time of learning in our United States.
The first one is, you're not like other girls. Sounds like a nice thing to say.
Why?
But
But
that makes it sound like, hey, most girls are lame, but not you. You don't have to put other women down when you're trying to compliment. You could say, I've not met anyone like you before. You could say that.
You are unique.
Yeah, but saying you're not like other girls means, well, most girls are stupid.
I got to write that down. I'm going to have a little card of what I shouldn't say.
Okay.
This is interesting. Don't tell women you're a feminist. Don't say the words, I'm a feminist.
Yeah,
Now you say, why? Because if you say it, there's an old saying, power is like being a lady. If you have to tell people you are or you aren't. You show them by your actions that you're a feminist.
Yeah.
You don't walk around saying, well, I'm a feminist.
Then that means that Fonzie wasn't cool after all.
He would just be cool.
He
and
would
you
just
would know
do it instead of telling us about it all the time.
Oh, I hate this one. Smile.
Oh yeah, you never say that.
I worked with a woman many years ago in radio who would say that to me all the time.
Yes, I remember.
Smile.
But I think it happens more to women. I don't think a lot of people go around telling men to smile. You're the prettiest of all your friends. Again, you think this is a compliment. No, can't just say, I think you're beautiful. That's okay. It's not a competition. Again, for women, it's always like a competition.
All right.
Well, I didn't know you were smart.
I don't know why you'd say that to anyone.
The example they give is a woman was dating a man for a few months, and she had just gotten accepted to Oxford. And he said, wow, I didn't know you were that smart. No. You were pretty, but I didn't know. Oh, please, of course you love shopping. This is from women that say, no, I hate shopping. And it goes out broader, meaning don't assume because you're a woman you like to do certain things. It doesn't even have to be shopping. But
all right.
Let's see. It's so rare to meet a beautiful lawyer, scientist, mathematician. You must get all the attention in client meetings.
Wow.
Well, I don't know what. I can't even remember that, let alone say it.
Meaning you have, lawyer, scientist, mathematician.
I don't know any.
You have a high and you're pretty.
I thought only ugly girls did that.
Yeah,
is what you're saying, right?
And you're pretty.
I don't know any women who are scientists and lawyers and mathematicians.
No, it's individual, meaning you're in some
I got
very
I see.
smarty pants, highfalutin job, and you're pretty. Wow.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, you do that good for a woman. Can't you just say
it's
you're
grammatically incorrect for one thing? You do that well for a woman.
Yeah, but you just can just say, "Oh, you did that very well," whether it's like in athletics or
yeah.
Let's see. My girlfriend is crazy. or all of my exes are crazy.
Well, so we're going to have to change the name of that TV show, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
This says the translation is, I cheat a lot, I lie about it. When a woman catches me and confronts me, I act like she's being
crazy.
paranoid. Yeah.
No, she's nuts. Don't believe her.
Oh, the old, are you on your period?
Oh, yeah, that's...
You're upset.
What are you on the, and the really crude one?
Don't say it.
No?
No. Just...
Oh, okay.
United States.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You're on your United States.
Girls shouldn't curse, smoke, drink,
I believe that.
etc.
I believe
And if you see them doing it, you say, "Hey, you shouldn't be doing that."
I'm concerned for your health. You're smoking. Don't do that.
And finally, this: don't be such a girl.
Don't be such a girl.
Yeah.
Well, how about it's like the other day?
Because it sounds like an insult.
The other day, I said to you, "You throw like a girl."
Yeah.
And that's pretty insulting.
It
really,
is.
If you think about it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I do. I'm terrible.
And that's why I said it.
So just, women are people. Just talk to them like people.
Cement Dave has a question.
Yes.
Yeah. May I say to my wife, you're the prettiest woman I've ever married?
Yes.
It's the only woman he's ever married.
Yes.
So.
You
Is that
can
okay
say
to
that.
say
Oh,
that?
sure.
Well, that's kind of insulting, isn't it? You're the prettiest woman I've ever married. It implies that there are a lot of women out there that he hasn't married who are prettier.
Oh, Dave, maybe?
Yeah, Dave, just tell your wife you think she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just leave it at
That's all
that.
you got to do.
United States.
I love that you've just isolated that.
And Stephanie says, I smoked, cursed, and drank. Say something.
Please.
Please stop,
Stephanie.
Me. See, that's,
Please stop me.
That's what I mean. It's your health. Please don't, at least the smoking. I don't care about the cursing.
Well, you don't need to bring gender into it.
Yeah, the point is, it's not good for a man to do either. It's...
Yeah, it's
the point
difficult.
is saying, well, you're a woman, so you shouldn't do this, you can't do that. Oh, you do that, I can't believe it. It's the same general theme throughout it.
It's difficult, though, because, for instance, I like the fact that I know women who have really foul mouths.
Oh, yeah.
And I like that. But I guess I can't compliment.
No, because you would never compliment a guy like, oh, you have a really foul mouth. I like that about you. You would never say that to a guy, so don't say it to a woman.
Well, I wouldn't say it, but I find
But
it
you might-
attractive.
but you
I
might-
guess you could say, I find it very attractive the way you're swearing.
And it depends on who you say that to.
Well, I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it to like the secretary. Or,
You're talking to a pretty stupid man.
Let's see. May I say to my ex that she's the prettiest woman I've ever lost?
You're the.
So I guess you didn't want the breakup, is what it sounds like.
Oh. And people are wondering if this means that we have to stop talking about Gina's good-looking sister.
They are all good looking. So
Well,
you don't ever need to point it out because
well.
they are all good looking.
Yeah. Okay.
Every one of them.
I know you think that.
They are.
Of course they are. It's just a joke.
I know.
I tried to explain that to one of your sisters, the good-looking one, just this week. And I had to explain to her again that it's just a joke.
Just a joke.
Yeah.
Let's see. Crash at the intersection of Redwood Road and 35th South. Northbound and southbound travels mostly affected, but the right lane eastbound is also blocked. Crash northbound SR 36 at Way. Multi-vehicle crash blocking the left lane and shoulder. UHP is taking care of that. Let's see. I-15 northbound, there's a crash just before the I-80 East turnoff, where there is also a multi-vehicle crash creating huge delays into Murray. That's traffic brought to you by Sean Hogan and Everest Collision. They want you and your loved ones to get home safe and sound. Stop texting and driving. Download the Everest Collision app responsibly.
All right.
Coming up, I hope they make it. I've invited a couple of people here to come here and talk about bears' ears for just a couple of minutes.
Have we heard from them, Richie?
And
one of them.
And one of them is a Native American person.
Mm-hmm.
I think those people, the Native Americans involved in this, have not been heard clearly by the public at large. So that's why I thought it'd be nice to talk to them.
All right, so we'll have that coming up, and round one of your boner voting as well. Stand by for that. Okay, right now on my kitchen counter, I have the candy cane roses.
Are they red and white?
Red and white.
Oh.
It's a nice combination, and they're blooming very nicely in their nice vase that we got from ProFlowers as well. They're beautiful. It's a great holiday gift. December, birthday, anniversary, whatever, but good for the holidays. Send them to loved ones. They also have this really cool classic mini Christmas tree. And I ordered one of these one year. It's just a little Christmas tree, and it comes with lights and ornaments and everything. So if maybe you live in an apartment, you don't have room for a tree. There you go.
Oh.
Send that to somebody. That's a nice thing. But it is the holiday season. No matter which you choose, our listeners will get 20% off any ProFlowers bouquet or plant. They do plants as well, of $29 or more. But you got to use our code X96 at the checkout. They're guaranteed to stay fresh. Like I said, I got these candy cane roses 3 weeks ago, I think, and they're still just looking great because of the magic plant food that they give you. Follow the directions, and they'll last a long time. They're guaranteed to stay fresh for at least 7 days. You control the delivery date. So here's how you get the deal. 20% off of all bouquets or plants of $29 or more this holiday season. You go to proflowers.com and use the code X96 at checkout. I think they still have that blue microphone up on the right-hand corner. Type in X96 there. Proflowers.com and the code X96.
X96 invites you to enter to win Foo Fighters tickets for their show on December 12th at 50.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of two such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the entire galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders!
Today, we join our missionaries as they land on a remote planet called Triskelion.
Hey, Lehi, ever wonder where Zone Leader Hansen finds planets no one has ever heard of to send us to?
Well, I'm sure these folks just call the 1-800 Subspace Channel and request visits by missionaries.
Well, we've been on Triskelion for over a minute now, and no one's made an attempt on our lives. I'd say so far so good.
Well, these are the agreed-upon coordinates. We were supposed to wait here for them to contact us.
What the flip?
Hey, where are we now?
You are in a cavern miles below the surface of Triskelion.
Looky, Butch, disembodied brains. Who are you guys?
We are the providers. 200 quatlus for the tall one. 300 quatlus for the tall one.
Excuse me, providers. I'm Lehi Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen.
500 quatlus for Elder Jensen.
As I was saying, we represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons.
600 quatlus for Elder Jensen.
We was wondering if you had heard of our church and if you'd like to hear more.
700 quatlus for Elder Jensen, and I'll let you have the fat one for free.
Hey, wait just a minute. Missionaries come in pairs. You can't split us up. We are a package deal.
Okay. 800 quatlus for both of the Mormons. That's my final offer.
Did we just get sold to that glowing brain under the glass doodad over there?
That's what it sounded like. We'd better get to the bottom of this.
Excuse me. It's me over here, Lehi.
You know, the fat one.
But you're not helping.
Sorry.
If you brains are done talking amongst yourselves, we'd just like to talk to you about joining our faith.
Silence! You are now a drill thrall. You will fight in the arena for our amusement until you are dead.
I don't like the looks of this.
Come on, don't be such a wussy. We have these big stick thingies to defend ourselves with, and our opponent is a scantily clad woman with big breasts. Come on, lady, take your best shot. Ow! Hey, I wasn't ready. Try that again, I dare you. Ow!
Hey, that's gonna leave a mark. Hey, provider guys, care to make a new wager?
300 quatloos on the missionaries. 400 quatloos on the scantily clad woman with big breasts.
How would you like to wager your eternal souls?
Make this good, or we will teleport you onto the surface of Triskelion Sun.
Okay, here's the deal. If we win, we get to go free, and you donate 1,000 quatloos to the LDS Church Missionary Program. We lose, and we will remain drill thralls and fight for your amusement.
I don't know. That's a lot of quatloos.
Well, you chicken?
You have a wager. You two against all of the other drill thralls.
Oh, well, it was nice knowing you, Lehigh.
Don't sweat it, Butch. I got a plan. Is this the end of Butch and Lehigh? Will they spend the rest of their very short lives as drill thralls? Can quatloos be used to pay tithing? How exactly would you baptize a disembodied brain anyway? Tune in next time to hear Lehigh say, "Put down your stick, Butch, and follow my lead."
Oh, but we couldn't take a prissy girl thrall, and you think we can take on all them without weapons?
Trust me. Excuse me, drill thralls. I'm Elder Christiansen of the LDS Church. My companion, Elder Jensen,
Hi.
and I were wondering if you'd like to learn more about the Mormon Church.
Hey, where's everybody going?
Foul! You cheated! I demand a rematch!
On the next eye-gouging episode of Space Elders.
On X96.
All right, round one of your boner voting coming up in a moment. It's 7:05 right now.
And we want to talk about Bears Ears National Monument, or what used to be the Bears Ears National Monument. And I want to just talk particularly to a Native American person about this, because I think we hear in the news mostly from some Native American people from down in Garfield or San Juan County who say that the Navajo people, the Native American people, they're all in favor of reducing the size of the National Monument. And we have in the studio here Braden Weeks. He's a member of the Northern Ute tribe, and he's also the communication director for Utah Diné-Bikéyah. And the Diné-Bikéyah is the coalition of how many tribes, Braden?
So Utah Diné-Bikéyah, we're actually the grassroots nonprofit that got started by natives in San Juan County. The Bears Ears Intertribal Coalition is a separate entity. They started after us.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And that's the one that's all of the tribes got together, which is pretty remarkable, apparently.
It really is. I mean, people seem to miss that kind of step. So, I mean, even like my parents' generation, Utes and Navajos were really at odds with each other, just for an example. So, like, if there's... if you're Ute, if there's a group of Navajos, don't go into that area. Don't shake hands.
And let's not even talk about those damn Zunis. And
sure, right.
Yeah. It's just, and this is a centuries old kind of
conflict. And so, I mean, for them to kind of see, like, their commonalities in this situation and really start working together and put their differences aside really is a huge leap forward.
Now, when we hear people like, I think her name's Rebecca Benally, who is the commissioner in San Juan County, a Native American, a Navajo, I believe.
Yeah, so she is a enrolled member of the Navajo Nation.
Now, she'll say, no, the Native American people, they are, way to go, Ryan Zinke, way to go, Donald Trump. We're happy you've done that.
Sure, and it's important to clarify that she is not a representative of the Navajo Nation. She was elected in San Juan County as a San Juan County commissioner, so she doesn't represent the tribe at all. And recently, in the past 90 days, there has been votes within the chapter houses that are in Utah, and 6 of them voted on whether to support the monument or not. 98% of those voted to support the monument as it stood.
Explain just briefly what a chapter house is.
Yeah. A chapter house is kind of, we could think of it as like a county or like and then like the group of chapter houses that are within Utah create kind of maybe like a state or a province. And the person who is elected in that area to represent that area is actually Davis Filfred. He's the council delegate to the Navajo Nation. And so he actually has the authority from the Navajo Nation and from the votes from the people there to represent, and he has clearly stated that they support the national monument.
We're talking to Braden Weeks. He's a Northern Ute Native American, and he's also the communications director for Utah Dene Bikea, and he hosts a radio program as well. I found out on KRCL called Living the Circle of Life. When's that on?
That is on Sundays from 7 to 10 a.m.
Okay. I will tune in.
Thank you.
And so when Donald Trump, well, let me ask you, go back to when President Obama said, let's designate this as a national monument, he sent Sally Jewell here, who was the Interior Secretary, and she met with members of the tribal coalition, right?
Right. Well, she held many different community meetings throughout the state. They all were open. Her schedule was open. And that's in pretty stark contrast to how Zinke came. He kept all of his meetings private, all of his agenda private.
But he wore a cowboy hat.
Yeah, he did have that.
Did he ride a horse too?
He did.
Wow, well, okay.
Hey, Zinke, and the horse you rode in on.
Yeah, so she did meet, and people miss out or people forget that the tribes were asking for 1.9 million. The state was asking for 1.4 million acres to be set aside and protected. And really what Obama did was a compromise with the two. He looked at what was important to the two of them, and he designated 1.35 million acres rather than the 1.9 tribes were asking for or the 1.4 the state was asking for.
So what does the state have to bitch about? I don't get that.
I'm unsure. It seems like a lot of misinformation circulates through San Juan County.
That's an understatement, I think.
What Braden was tactfully saying is that San Juan County officials, Lyman and Benally and all of these, they're liars. He was carefully saying
they're not being honest about their motives, is what.
Yeah. And so when Zinke comes to town, did any of the intertribal members, Filfred, did he meet with Zinke?
So members of the Bears Ears Intertribal Coalition were given a meeting the first day that, as soon as he flew in, for just under an hour. He met with them, and then the rest of the time was monument opponents.
Why does someone like Rebecca Benally, and there are some other Native American voices saying we oppose what President Obama did and we support what Trump did to reduce the size?
Yeah, sure. There's voices. I mean, you're not going to find a unanimous voting on any decision from any group.
You don't want to talk about their motives.
But, their motives, I'm not sure of them, because what it is they hear things, or what I've seen on like Facebook, because I run our social media, is that they're saying that we can't collect wood there, we can't hunt there, we can't do these things. But those things are explicitly protected within Obama's designation.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get it.
So it sounds to me like they're lying.
And then just quickly, why is Bears Ears so important to Native American people?
I think it's important to the coalition because it is this place of commonality. It's this place where we share an ancestral ties, where we share a place where we look at it differently for different ceremonies, for different ways of life for each of the tribes, but we all see that it's important to each of us, and it's a place we can come together and we can heal on a path forward because of that commonality and because of that shared venture there.
All of the tribes have been through that area for centuries.
Right.
And Jonah Yellowman, who is just a remarkable guy, I think. He's a medicine man, and he's what tribe is he?
He is also Navajo.
Navajo.
Mm.
You know, he said it's like when people go there, remember, and he said, when I go there, I have to remember I'm walking on the bones of my ancestors.
Right. Right. And I mean, that's something that people forget, that just because it isn't obviously touched by man, so like in the Western way of thought, it's wild. Mm. But to natives, this is places that we have never stopped using. This is places that we always have contact with. And so to us, it's very tangible, like the human impact or the human experience in that area.
And I don't know if you share this kind of thing. The Northern Ute shares what the Navajo medicine man said to me also, Jonah Yellowman. He said, you know, we're just protecting the entire earth for you guys. Mm-hmm. That's what we're doing.
Thank you.
He said because there will come a time where we're trying to. That's what our job is, to protect the earth for you all.
Right, and I mean, I think a lot of different tribes share that view, where it's because everything in Native life is about relationships. So you don't call like your grandma. It's not a title, grandma. Mm-hmm. You call her a word that is the word she calls you. It's your relationship you're referring to.
Oh, that's nice.
And so when it comes to these land things, it's the relationship to the land. It's how we're interacting. It's how we're caring for it. And so you hear like stewards or caretakers and stuff, but for natives, it's really that relationship. What does that mean, and how do we do that in a good way where we benefit and they benefit? Because we don't see a difference in community health and environmental health are the same to us.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound like you're being manipulated by a special interest group to me.
No.
That's what I kept getting told.
Where are those radical environmentalists that are making you say this?
Exactly.
Like
I know. Where's the gun?
Speaking from your heart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
From your heart.
It's his name. This is Braden Weeks. He's a member of the Northern Ute tribe, and I can see why you're the communications director for Utah Dene Abakea.
Oh, thank you.
It's really nice to meet you, and we should have more contact.
Yes,
and
please.
And the lawsuits going forward, and hopefully Bears Ears will be what you want it to be.
Yeah, we hope so too. Thanks for having me.
Keep us posted on that sort of thing.
I will.
Thanks, Braden.
Traffic, Gina, do you have?
Yes. We've got a lot going on this morning so far.
Yeah.
We have a report of a crash, I-80 eastbound before the 72nd West exit. This is as people are leaving Saltaire and headed toward the airport. Emergency vehicles are on the scene of a crash northbound SR 36 at Erdaway. Left lanes are blocked. Traffic is backed up at least a mile. Crash southbound Mountain View at 62nd South. Crash eastbound I-80 at 89th West. Crash northbound Redwood Road, 35th South and West Valley. Left lanes are closed. Eastbound right lane closed. Crash northbound Bangor Highway, 35th South. So lots of traffic this morning. Sorry to tell you about that.
Coming up, Boners Round 1.
Oh, yeah. Let me give you the candidates here. I've got them right here. Boner candidate number 1, turbulence made me do it. Number 2, shame on you, Zinky. And number 3, hey, no hard feelings.
All right. All those and big boy news on the way. MattressFirm.com is the place where you find a location near you.
You might think it's weird that we go on and on about our mattresses. My guess is you've had your mattress for 6, 7, 8, 10 years, and you don't give any thought to it.
Yeah.
If you go get a new mattress from Mattress Firm, you will understand what we say when we say we never want to get out of our bed.
And they a Mattress Firm says you should replace your mattress probably about every 8 years. This Friday, so today, to Sunday, Mattress Firm is helping you complete your sleep in style during their winter slumber sale. Get a free pillow, or pillow if you prefer.
Yeah, if you're from Utah, it's a pillow.
Get a free pillow
Yeah.
and mattress protector with any mattress purchase, because everybody deserves to have a little nap over the holidays. I know I'm going to. So Mattress Firm, mattresses start at just $199. you'll find something in your price range, I'm sure, and something that you will love. So go to mattressfirm.com for a store near you.
Well, it's that time of year, isn't it? You know, when you think of your family, think of snowmen, and of course, winning free stuff from the radio.
X96 presents the X Days of Xmas.
10 days of different prizes from your friends at X96.
All you need to do is listen to win every weekday at 9 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m.
Prizes include gift cards from places like
Jade.
Today, we examine another group of words used by most Utahns called L words, or words that end in ELL. And to help you with today's lesson, each time an L word is used in the following dialogue, a bell will sound. Imagine, if you will, our two friends, LeVar and LeGrand, together in LeVar's trailer house. The TV is on. A conversation ensues. Again, these are L words.
I love this TV show.
Yeah.
I am so glad that someone is showing the reruns of McKell's Navy.
Me too. You know, I would just love to set sail with McKell myself. Hey, you remember the one when the wacky crew of PT Boat 73 tried to save that beached well?
Oh, yeah. They had a hard time because of this big storm.
Yeah.
Gale force winds and hell stones the size of golf balls.
Yeah.
But they saved that well anyway. McKell did not fell.
Well, no thanks to Gruber. Yeah, that was quite a tell, though. Hey, listen, give me some of them snacks, would you? I'm hungry.
Sure.
Uh-oh.
What?
Trell mix.
Yeah.
You're not gonna like this, LeGrand, but Trell mix makes me thirsty for just one thing.
You're not gonna be drinking beer in front of me, are you, LeVar?
Oh, no. I'm gonna have me a glass of L.
L is beer?
Yeah, but this is pretty mild. It's that Pell L from Squatters. It's so mild I can drink a whole bucket of it.
You'd get drunk if you drunk a whole Pell of Pell L. Then you'd get throwed in jail, and I'd have to bail you out. Oh, hey, looky here what I got in the mail. It's a flyer from Deseret Book. It says here that Dan Quell is coming to town to sign copies of his new book.
Boy, the liberals sure rode Bush and Quell out of Washington on a rel.
Sure did.
They fought tooth and nail, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Hey, I hear that this new book of his really lifts the veil of secrecy about Washington life and what really went on. You know, I'd like to see him. What Deseret Book is he at?
Well, the one by that big jewelry store.
Big jewelry store. You mean Morgan's Jewelers?
Nope. Zell's.
There's Christmas trees in here. Jeez.
What's Christmas time? Oh, oops. God. Oh, I'm not
Holiday.
supposed to say that.
It's our liberal media elite war on Christmas.
I keep slipping up and saying Christmas.
I said Christmas trees. That's our holiday spit tree over there.
Yeah, we spit on that because of our liberal media elite war.
The liberal media elite. Yeah, I spit on your holiday tree.
The liberal media elite don't care that most of our money is made off of Christmas. We're trying to destroy it because
it's about Jesus.
Because Satan. Oh,
since when? I just hope everybody knows we're joking.
You know what I heard on radio from hell? They're spitting on Christmas trees. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Again, why would we want to wage a war on Christmas?
Don't.
That would be foolish.
I like Christmas.
I love Christmas.
Yes.
I don't mind saying Merry Christmas, but I often say Happy Holiday.
I say Happy
because you don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah, I don't know what you celebrate.
In 1970 something, I was in New York City and I went into a jewelry store to buy a Christmas present, and I said, after I bought it, Merry Christmas. And the guy looked at me and said, I think you mean Happy Holidays.
Yeah, because
I went, oh, I get it.
You just assumed everybody celebrates Christmas. Yeah. Not everybody celebrates Christmas.
I know lots of people with lots of different backgrounds.
And they don't mind Christmas.
No.
They think it's festive. They enjoy it.
Yes.
But they don't celebrate it.
So.
Okay. Anyway, let's get to it.
Sorry, we'll continue our war on Christmas. Mr. Soros is on line 3. All right. Time for round 1 of your boner voting. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you will decide of these 3 candidates which is the worst. Which one of these deserves to go forward to Boner Dome for Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day. Wins here, 50-50 chance of being Boner of the Day. Goes up against the winner of round 2. That happens at 8:20. Boner Fight at 9:20. 2 candidates now, then a 3rd candidate after the big boy news. Once you've heard all 3, you will vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
I can't buy it, gotta win it. Radio from Hell boner t-shirt courtesy of Excel Automotive Repair. Radio from Hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon. Try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car checkover before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50.
Boner candidate number 1. Turbulence made me do it. You know, everyone, everywhere, I mean, is a bad place to grope someone. Everywhere. Just don't grope people.
Yeah.
But an airplane, I think that's maybe the worst place you can do it.
It's a bad place. I don't know what the worst, but it's a bad place.
During a United Airlines flight from New Jersey to Charlotte on Tuesday, a 73-year-old man decided to use turbulence as the reason that his hand fell between his seatmate's legs, according to Charlotte WSOC-TV. Sources say that the victim, who is in her 30s, alerted flight staff and that the man next to her had groped her, resulting in them being separated. Sir, you will have to stand up and go to another seat. Once the plane was grounded, police got on board and escorted the 73-year-old turbulence made me do it scumbag off the plane. The case is now being investigated by the FBI. Federal crime, I guess. Huh?
Because it's on the plane.
I guess. The man, who is from Lithuania.
We do things different in Lithuania.
Told the authorities that his hand tumbled onto her lap due to turbulence, which is a bold example of magical thinking. As one passenger put it, I'm sure a woman knows the difference between a hand hitting her versus being groped. Boner candidate number 1. Turbulence made me do it. Here's boner candidate number 2. Shame on you, Zinky. I wonder if we have this picture of him at x96.com/live. It's Ryan Zinke, the Interior Department Secretary, in his cowboy hat. He spent $14,000 to book U.S. Park Police helicopters to take him and some staffers to go horseback riding with Mike Pence.
What?
Don't you ride a horse to go?
Was Mother there?
Is he allowed to be alone with
a
horse?
He used money this summer, a round-trip flight to meet Vice President Mike Pence for an afternoon horseback ride. Let's see, the news site, this is, who did this? Anyway, Politico. There it is. They got copies of Zinke's travel logs through a Freedom of Information Act request and found that the secretary spent $14,000 on government helicopters, often citing his schedule and the timing of official trips as justification for the expense. In another instance, he spent $8,000 for U.S. Park Police helicopter. Oh, it was $8,000. This was to go to an emergency management exercise in West Virginia.
Oh, so it's two separate incidents.
Yeah, there are several being talked about here now, but the one that's, I think, it's just so, you could sort of justify that. You know, it is a company, or it is a meeting that he should go to. It's a 2-hour drive by car, but he, for some reason, didn't think he could leave his office until 2 in the afternoon to get to the conference. So helicopter. So
you know what we need to do?
What's that?
We need to go to Washington and drain the swamp. This is this kind of stuff. You know.
Yeah, when is that happening?
Shame on you,
What's
Zinke.
the date of the swamp draining?
Boner candidate number 2. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. Well, no hard feelings.
All right, boner candidate round 1, number 3, coming up after this here Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by
Feldman's Deli, Utah's only authentic Jewish deli, featuring world-class New York corned beef, pastrami, bagels, matzo ball soup, a variety of specials, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner with live music Friday and Saturday nights. Check out feldmansdeli.com.
Brian Singer is being, well, there's a lawsuit that's been filed against him. State court alleges that the director of X-Men and producer of a lot of things.
Oh, yeah, he's everywhere.
Sexually assaulted a 17-year-old boy on a yacht in 2003. The plaintiff, whose name is Cesar Sanchez Guzman, claims in the lawsuit that he met Singer in 2003 at a party on a yacht, and during which Singer offered to give him a tour of the yacht. Singer then allegedly lured him into a room, shut the door, and demanded that he perform a sex act on him.
I'll make you a star.
When Sanchez Guzman refused, Brian Singer forced him into acts of oral sex, according to the lawsuit. And there have been rumors circulating about him for a long time.
And this story specifically has been out there for a long time.
There are others, aren't there?
Yeah, there are others.
Yeah. A brawl to stop a robber at Iconoclad up there on 3rd South, 4th South.
Yeah, it's just right
3rd
there. It is.
South. Yeah.
If you go to x96.com/live, you can see a picture.
Yeah, it's a kind of a cool little clothing and doodad store. The fight was caught on camera. Even though the suspect got away, the fight led to the discovery of a key piece of evidence. Police said that because of that, they've been able to identify the robber. Now, another store is coming forward saying that they recognize the guy as someone who's stolen from them by shoving items down his pants.
Oh, we have pictures of the guy, x96.com/live.
Iconoclad said that the serial shoplifter started throwing punches when they tried to prevent him from stealing from them. The shop has now dubbed him as the No Pants Bandit because of an incident that involved the man's pants or lack thereof. I guess in the scuffle, that was the item that was left behind. They managed to pull off his pants as they were tussling with him, trying to get the items back. So he ran off in his underwear, I guess. Let's see. Republican Congressman Trent Franks said Thursday, he's from Arizona, that he plans to resign amid a congressional ethics investigation over his discussion of surrogacy with female staffers. Franks issued a statement that denied any sexual contact with staff members, but revealed that a woman years earlier acted as a gestational surrogate who produced twins for him and his wife. He then made a second attempt with another surrogate, but it was unsuccessful and continued to want another child. That's when he discussed what he described as the option with his 2 female staffers. I'm thinking that this is not really quite the truth.
No.
I
agree.
If he's resigning over this,
I think that what he said. Now, this is just me. I think he said to them, "I want to make a baby with you."
Yeah, probably.
And now he's saying, I meant really.
It's for my wife, really.
Yeah.
We're doing it for my. She was.
Exactly.
These are getting too big to cuddle.
And again, just guessing.
I'm pretty sure you're right. Let's see. Roy Moore, the Republican candidate in Alabama who's vying for the Senate. once slammed the United States for promoting a lot of bad things and praised Russian President Vladimir Putin. In an interview over the summer that's getting some attention this week, The Guardian quoted President Ronald Reagan for once calling the Soviet Union the focus of evil in the world. Reagan made those comments during his Evil Empire speech.
Yes.
You could say that very well about America, couldn't you? Moore said. We promise a lot of bad things to people. Vladimir Putin knows how to run a country. He also allegedly has called Native Americans reds, people of Chinese or Asian ancestry yellows.
And somebody asked him about Make America Great Again. When was America great?
Yes.
During slavery.
During I mean, the slave part was bad, but the families really came together during slavery.
Yeah, the white families.
Yeah. And
it's your guy.
That's
Alabama.
your guy. That's your guy, GOP. You want his vote because you'd rather have that horrible thing in there.
Yeah, put the sexual harassment stuff over here and say, well, we can't prove any of that. What you can prove are words that come out of his mouth.
Yes,
and there's plenty of that. Should make.
And he said, well, maybe the United States is the evil in the world because of the homosexuals. The homosexuals.
Well, yeah.
That's what he said. He followed up. I saw that whole
That's right.
interview. That's why we're the evil in the world.
And finally, this story, before we get to Boner Candidate number 3.
Yes.
A massive 5 1/4 pound avocado has been grown in Hawaii.
Wow.
Well, I wish
it's as big as a newspaper.
I wish there's also a picture of a woman holding it somewhere else. A Hawaiian woman walking near a local school discovered the massive avocado. And she said, I think this breaks the Guinness World Record book for the world's heaviest avocado. Yes, there is a record for that. Pamela Wang said she was walking in Kaleawakakuia near Kanawika-Nakanuka High School. I don't know. And she came across a gigantic avocado. I see avocados every day, she said, and I pick up avocados every day. But see, it's paradise there. You can pick pineapples off the tree, coconuts off the tree, avocados just growing. And she said, this is the biggest one.
Now, Sue yesterday was showing me this article about, and this is I guess new, or it's always, I can't remember what it was, pitless avocados.
I don't know that.
Avocados with no pit in them.
I have not heard
now
of that.
That's plain God.
They're kind of long. No, I think they were natural, as I recall, is what she was telling me.
Well, how did they make new avocados?
I don't know.
They've done some selective breeding, right?
Maybe that's it. But they're kind of longish. They almost look like a cucumber.
I don't think we ought to be messing with stuff like that.
I'm curious. I wanted to give this a try now.
Yeah, well.
Anyway.
Traffic, weather, and we'll get Boner Candidate number 3.
Sure.
Which you're not going to like very much.
I'm not.
Well, it's pretty icky.
Final cleanup for a crash, Redwood Road, 35th South. The tow trucks are blocking all southbound lanes and most eastbound lanes of travel. Let's see. We've got crash southbound Mountain View, 6200 South and West Valley, off to the right shoulder. Crash eastbound I-80 at 89th West. Crash northbound Redwood Road, 35th South. Left lanes are closed. Eastbound right lane is closed. Well, looks like that's about it. And weather, we heard from Frankenweather, by the way. Brett Benson. Frankenweather say, good to hear Frankenweather on X96 Radio from Hell on way to work. Frankenweather, good. Polluted air, bad.
Well, come visit us sometime.
Yeah, it is bad and not getting better anytime soon. Highs in the upper 30s. Air is bad. Brought to you by John Watson Chevrolet in Ogden, located at 3535 Wall Avenue. Drop off all of your road home donations all month long at John Watson Chevrolet.
Grown in Spain,
Yeah, I just saw that.
cocktail avocados are the result of an unpollinated avocado blossom. So they're natural. They grow about 3 inches in length and taste smooth and creamy like normal avocados.
Oh, can you get them here?
I don't know. I'm going to get some, though.
All right, here's Boner Candidate number 3. No hard feelings. Okay, get ready. A former county official in Georgia will not face criminal charges despite the discovery of illicit videos showing him performing oral sex on 2 men who are out cold. Incoherent, unresponsive. David Kimball, former emergency management director.
He was managing an emergency.
For Hall County, allegedly filmed himself performing the sex act on two men. He filmed himself while they were drunk or visibly impaired, according to court documents. Mr. Kimbrell was fired in October. He told investigators that both men were aware of the videos and of what he was doing to them. The documents connected to the investigation, as well as interviews with the two victims, suggest otherwise, however, according to the newspaper. As a matter of fact, one of the alleged victims did decline to press charges due to the embarrassment of the whole situation.
Just let it go. Just forget about it. It's fine.
But he said they fired him from his job in the county, and he said, listen, I don't have any hard feelings about that. No hard feelings. Boner candidate number 3.
All right, let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1 was turbulence made me do it. That's nobody buys this guy's story that turbulence knocked his hand when they're on the plane, knocked his hand into her lap. He groped her. Boner candidate number 2, shame on you, Zinke. Ryan Zinke spent a lot of money to ride planes and helicopters, but it's so egregious. $6,250 to take a government helicopter to go ride horses with Mike Pence and Mother, probably.
Mother.
And Boner candidate number 3, no hard feelings.
All right, let's do it. This is round 1. You've got to decide which of these 3 candidates is the worst. Which one of these 3 deserves to go to Boner Fight and have a 50-50 chance of becoming Boner of the Day. We have round 2 at 8:20, Boner Fight at 9:20. All right, 1, 2, or 3. Remember the candidate number that you think should win. Put it in the message of a text, and then text that to our short code 33986. Easy. Or you can call 877-602-9696. Use your voice. Or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Round 1, December 8. And vote there. If that box is not there, refresh. It'll appear. All right, there you go. Less than 300 seconds to get your Round 1 vote in. Let's go. It's Boner of the Day. Round 1.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of 2 such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! In this episode, we find our missionaries tracting underground on Janus 6. Wow, would you look at these caverns? They're incredible.
You sure we have the right planet?
Yeah, I am. Janus 6. Why, Jas?
Oh, just because this planet is uninhabited, that's all.
Well, I'm sure that Zone Leader Hansen had a good reason to send us here.
Yeah, like all the residents of this planet were killed by some unknown force, and he's hoping that we stumble upon it.
Now, Butch, you be nice. Hey, looky here. Perfectly round, shiny rocks.
Hey, a collection of bowling balls. Well, maybe there is life on this planet after all.
I don't think those are bowling balls. Hey, you shouldn't be touching those.
Well, you're right. They ain't bowling balls. The weight's all wrong, and they don't have holes drilled in them. Hey, you hear that?
You mean the menacing sound of a big rock sneaking up on us?
Yeah. What do you think it is?
Well, from the looks of it, I'd say it's a big rock sneaking up on us.
What the flip?
Oh, you better put down the bowling ball real slow and easy, Butch. I don't think the big rock that's been sneaking up on us likes the way you're handling it, and it's staring at us, too.
Okay, here you go.
It's backing off. Excuse me, Mr. or Mrs. Big Rock. I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen.
Hi. Hey, look, it's burning some words into the cavern floor. Me, Porta, These my babies. No kill I. Hey, she's friendly, and she has kids, so it means she must be married.
Mrs. Horta, we represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons. Hey, she just crossed out the no from no kill I.
Oh, so much for being a friendly rock.
Looks like this might just be a time to make an exit there, Lehigh. Let me just grab one of these little rocks as a souvenir. My cousin would love to have a real live pet
Now,
rock.
I don't think she wants you to have one of our babies, Butch. Look out! Is this the end of our missionaries? Will Butch get to send a pet rock home to his cousin? Will Lehigh make him put it back? Is it legal to bowl with a silicone-like form egg? To find out the answers to these questions, tune in next time to hear Butch say...
Okay, lady, back off or the little rock gets it.
Now, Butch, that's no way to talk to a prospective convert. Now give her back her baby. On the next bone-chilling episode of Space Elders!
Right, 7:46. Time to award round one of your boner voting.
And round one of the boner voting is brought to you in part by a delicious Cuban sandwich made by my wife right before she rushed out the door to go to roller derby.
Shouldn't you be cooking for her before she goes to roller derby?
I was in the middle of fruitcakes.
I'm elbow deep in fruitcake over here.
I was right in the elbow deep in fruitcakes and brandy.
And Alpine Plastic Surgery, specializing in sculpting your body to achieve the goals you have above and beyond what diet and exercise provide. Visit alpineplasticsurgery.com and schedule a free consultation today.
Boner candidate number one, turbulence made me do it. It's the old man on the plane who said that's the reason his hand fell into his seatmate's lap, a woman, right between her legs. She says, he groped me. He said, turbulence made my hand fall into your lap. Boner candidate number two, shame on you, Zinke. Ryan Zinke, spending a lot of our taxpayer dollars to take government jets here and there where he could drive, government helicopters where he could, and took a government helicopter to go horseback riding with Vice President Pence. And boner candidate number three, no hard feelings, literally. A former county official in Georgia, performing a sex act on men who were unresponsive, who were out cold, apparently. Let's see, the winner of the Boner T-shirt, Alex. It was close voting among all three of the candidates. They're separated only by a couple of votes each.
Interesting.
But the winner was Boner candidate number 2. Shame on you, Zinky.
All right. That is the winner of round 1. It will then go to face the winner of round 2. Boner fight is at 9:20. Round 2 Boner voting at 8:20.
We have a giveaway.
Okay.
You want to do the Foo Fighters tickets?
Sure.
Okay.
X96 proud to welcome Foo Fighters, the Concrete and Gold Tour, to the Vivint Smart Home Arena Tuesday, December 12th. Tickets are on sale at all Ticketmaster.com outlets. Festus, we're going. That's your birthday present. Or you could win them right now from us if you're not Festus and want to win them. Text the word RUN, R-U-N, to 33986, and you could win a couple tickets to that show.
Kerry, you were talking about those pitless avocados, and you, the rest of the story here, and I was reading the same article, just thought this was really interesting. The skin of these avocados is edible as well.
Well, this isn't an avocado.
Allegedly.
So you don't have to worry about, so you don't have to worry about slicing your hand up when you try to get out the pit. And you don't have to worry about skin remnants, accidentally getting in your salad or whatever. Marks and Spencer, a popular supermarket and department store in England, is selling these avocados through December. So I know we have a London friend of the program.
There we go.
If we could contact him, or if he's listening, please go to a Marks and Spencer, get some of these, and tell us if this is all true. I'd like to know.
I was reading about how the avocado is having a resurgence in popularity.
Yeah, because people do the avocado toast.
Avocado toast.
Did it ever go away? I've always loved them.
No, it's just,
avocado toast is a thing. It's
I know, yeah.
It's.
I used to take avocados, and I would take a half of an avocado and just kind of, dice it, score it, and then I'd put either just lemon juice and salt and pepper on it, or sometimes I would put mayonnaise on it, a little mayonnaise on it, and just eat it right out of the skin.
See now,
I love that.
Now I love guacamole. I can't stand avocados.
Well, that doesn't make any. That makes no damn sense at all.
Because they're sort of trying to be firm, but they're mushy, and they don't have a lot of flavor. The guacamole is supposed to be mushy.
It sounds to
and
me
you
like
put other things in it.
It sounds to me like you have some sort of subconscious weirdness about it.
It's a texture thing. Guacamole makes sense to me. It's a dip. It's supposed to be soft,
but it's chunky.
But biting into
but you bite into good guacamole. See, I don't like the whipped kind that's all smooth.
No,
good guacamole has chunks in it.
Yeah,
but it's mostly a smooth.
You're
thing.
still eating chunks, baby.
But you're not biting into. You don't take a bite of guacamole. You don't bite into guacamole.
I used to live in the UK, and the avocados there were terrible. Well, I guess.
And are the pits that big of a problem?
Well, no.
Don't you just take a knife and go thwack and pull it out?
They're a bit of a hassle. Because once you get that, see, obviously you've never done it. You've stood there and watched a man do it, right?
You hold the side with the pit.
Have you ever done it?
And get it out.
Have you ever done it?
No.
Okay, so here's the problem. Once you do that, you hit the pit, like you're saying, with the knife. And pull it out, and the pit is then stuck on the knife.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a hazard trying to get the pit off the knife. People cut themselves. Now, I've learned the secret is I have a bowl on the counter that's for scraps for compost, and I just put that on the side of the bowl and go like that.
And it's fine.
Yeah. But it is hard.
I used to live in Tustin, California for a while. So many avocado trees that people just let them fall and rot on the ground, which is a tragedy.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be great to live in Hawaii, though?
Yeah.
Man.
Just in general?
God.
Except, not because of the avocados.
No, because of the avocados and the coconuts and the pineapples.
Sue and I were down there once, and we went to a winery, and there was this big avocado tree out front, and they were just like, yeah, go ahead. Great big things. They're just huge.
No, I wouldn't want to live in Hawaii. I like to visit Hawaii.
I'd like to have lemons.
Where do you go on vacation if you live in Hawaii? You're already there.
I don't know, Colorado.
You go to the mountains of the city.
I go to Idaho.
I bet you never leave.
I probably wouldn't. And I don't think, some people say they get, island fever. They get the sense that they're just on an island, and
I would have that. I think
I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
No, I wouldn't.
Like you can't get in your car and just drive to another state.
Well, no, you go to the other side of the island.
You can get in a plane and fly to another island.
But what if you can't?
Well, then you stay on the island you're on.
You go drive to the other side.
The paradise that you're in.
Because the other side is different from this side.
Yeah.
It's not the same all around. That other side, that's dry.
I like being able to get in my car and drive to New York City if I want to.
Well, why don't you then?
You can't do that on.
And you say that, but you've never done it.
I like the option. Hawaii, you don't have options.
I think you should exercise it. Exercise your options. Come on.
Someone says the Brazilian way to eat an avocado is with sugar. Let's put a little sugar on there. Yeah, I'd like to try that.
My grandfather used to eat tomatoes out of the garden. He'd put sugar on them, sprinkle sugar.
I'd like to try that. As usual, Radio from Hell elitists are giving all the airtime to the avocado, completely neglecting asparagus.
Well,
I love it. I had pickled asparagus last night.
We're just talking about because of the pitless avocados.
There was a story in that. Show us the current asparagus story, and we'll address that.
Is there an asparagus craze?
I don't know.
I did notice this year that asparagus is like usually $3.99 a pound or something like that, which I think is too much.
It is,
and I always wait until I see it at $1 something a pound, which it is occasionally.
Yeah, occasionally they'll run a sale,
but not much this year.
No,
I noticed this summer.
It's inexcusable. It grows on the side of the road
in a ditch. I think there was
ditch veggies.
It's true.
Yeah, they grow on ditch banks.
I remember as a kid, my mom would say, "Come on, we're going to go and get some asparagus."
You did?
Yeah, wild asparagus.
And we'd go down by the pond, and on the lower ponds in Salem, and we'd get out and walk along the road, and there we go.
Really?
Yeah. Exercise your option, Gina. Go get some wild asparagus.
No.
People go City Creek Canyon. There's just delicious watercress there in the summer. Huge clumps of it, and you'll see people picking it and putting it in bags a lot of times. You shouldn't buy watercress in the store. You just go up to City Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's snakes up there.
And tarantulas.
Let's see, real quick before we get to traffic, I want to remind everybody, Punk is selling some of his toy collection.
Punk has an impressive toy collection.
Yeah, and this is all perfect for gift giving because he rarely takes things out of the packages. So these are like new toys, and he's selling to help pay for some of his medical bills. And you can see him today. It's the Uni Holiday Craft Boutique at the University Neuropsychiatric Institute, 501 Chipeta Way, main floor auditorium, starting at 10 this morning and going till 4 p.m. He's going to have Star Wars, superheroes, action figures, Hot Wheels, and anything else that he can throw together. So go up and see Punk. He's raising money to help pay for some of his medical bills. All right. Traffic, Gina.
Yeah, we've got a crash, South Jordan Parkway, 29th West in South Jordan. Crash northbound 5600 West, 28 South in Salt Lake. The left lane is closed there. Crash southbound Mountain View, 6200 South in West Valley. That's off to the right shoulder. Crash eastbound I-80 at 89th West in Salt Lake. And crash northbound Redwood Road, 35th South in West Valley. That's traffic. Brought to you by Open Enrollment Questions. Today at 9, we'll have special guest Greg Reed from Select Health on the air with us talking about health insurance open enrollment. For more information, go to selecthealth.org.
There's someone who says they see asparagus all the time up Payson Canyon. Harvest that stuff.
Yeah.
Eat it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the Mac question.
Yeah,
Is
if
that
you
coming
want
up?
to, if you want to drive up Payson Canyon, you ought to have a set of good tires.
I think so.
Yeah, go to Big O Tires to get them. Big O Tires, the team you trust. I'm sure there is a Big O Tire store near Payson. There's probably one in Payson.
Oh, yeah, there is, I believe.
Yeah, Big O Tires. They're locally owned and operated, and all of the owners and operators of the Big O Tires are very fastidious. They take really good care of their stores. The bathrooms are always clean. Anyone I've ever been in, usually they have Wi-Fi there if you have to wait for a little while. Now, snow tires. I know it's not snowing now, but
no, you want to do it
will.
before it starts snowing.
Because everybody else waits. If you have them now, then you're ready.
So now through December 17th, you can get a $70 rebate on Michelin and BF Goodrich tires, 0% financing available on a purchase of $750 or more through December 31st. Remember, snow tires, snow tires, snow tires. Big O wants to be the team you trust. They are the team you trust. Big O Tire employees are great. And go to their website, bigotires.com, for rebates, coupons, or to find a store near you.
X96 invites you to enter to win Foo Fighters tickets for their show on December 12th at Vivint Smart Home Arena. Your prize also includes dinner.
Well, Punk, let's get to the movie review, shall we?
There we go.
That's why nothing to spend in the summer in and out of health facilities, like 18 Fingers of Death.
Tell us who stars in this opus.
Well, this is the only movie that's better than 17 Fingers of Death.
Yeah.
It stars James Liu.
Oh, so this is a sequel then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Buford, the down-and-out action hero.
James Liu, okay.
Okay.
And we got Maurice Patton.
Yeah.
He's Ronald Mack, the college student and wannabe director.
Okay.
Lisa Arturo.
Nope.
She's Sushi Q, the Honorable Fortune Cookie CEO.
Okay.
Pat Morita.
Oh, well, there's a name I recognize. Arnold from Happy Days.
So I know this movie's at least a year old, right?
Exactly. Well, I noticed he's got lots of others that are in post-production.
Oh, God. All right.
He's the humble restaurateur. We got Lorenzo Lamas.
Lorenzo Lamas?
Yeah.
He's a Antonio Bandana, the singing martial artist.
Okay.
Oh.
Robin Shue.
It sounds like just a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
He's Jackie Chong.
Yeah.
And we got Charlie George Brown as Chuck Snorris.
Chuck Snorris. Okay.
Oh, God.
And Kurt Graves as Steven Seafood.
Okay. Tell us the plot of 18 Fingers of Death.
Well, as far as I can tell, this guy starred in 803 of the finest action movies ever filmed. But he's come up with a script for what could be his breakout role. But when the producers back out and pull his funding, he's forced to pull out the "Will Work for Kung Fu for Money" sign and sell his Kung Fu movie memorabilia in order to get enough money to make a movie in 1 week for the Sundance Film Festival.
God.
And they managed to get like about 90 minutes out of this?
Yep.
Jeez.
Oh, 90 minutes.
All right, have you got a scene from 18 Fingers of Death?
Yeah, I thought I'd give you a little Pat Morita.
Okay.
Oh, good. Pat Morita.
So here we go.
Oh, Mr. Lee, listen, I've always been wanting to know, do you have Chinese Jews? Chinese Jews? Oh, very sorry, today is no Chinese Jew. We only have the apple Jews and the orange Jews.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
This is worse than I even dreamed.
Yep. What are you giving this movie, Punk?
I'm actually giving it 3.5 Prozac.
What? It's the pills talking, Punk.
It's the prednisone. I think it's the prednisone. For digging up guano, lining up to fight. You can only fight the good guy one at a time.
That's
you
right.
have to circle him.
Yeah.
Feathered Hair, the drunken bastard, Bong Fu the series, a wicker basket beaten, bow tie in the kitchen, cowboy foo, a fallen in love montage, an attack midget, and yes, learning to speak out of sync.
Learning to speak out of sync. All right, and what junk food are you going to have while you watch this movie?
I think you need to gather a few Lynn Wilson's meat and cheese burritos with extra cheese and onions. You can mix in the Durkin's French fried onions as you need. A nice meatball hero, some Rainbow Twizzlers, a bunch of Starburst, Reese's Pieces, a bag of Honorable Fortune cookies, and, yes, a nice cold canister of Lost Energy drink.
All right, Punk.
Wow, sounds lovely.
For those of you that are lost.
All right.
18 Fingers of Death.
The movie that's better than 17 Fingers of Death.
Follow Kerry Jackson on Twitter at RFHCarry. Radio from Hell on X96.
It was funny to hear the audio of that because I just read it and it was a boner candidate. I think it won yesterday.
I think so.
Boner of the day.
That's
guy
funnier to hear.
That guy has got a.
He's a dick.
He's got a loose screw.
I have a wife. He's totally gay.
Over there on the side, your side of the aisle, they may like that.
That's where all the gays are, is over there.
Democrats over there. Good Lord.
He was such a dick.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We got round 2, your boner voting coming up. And is this a sponsored feature, Gina?
We can get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback Credit Card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
This feature is called Best Question of the Week.
Yeah.
I always find it's more of a meh.
And we have a prize for whoever submitted the best question of the week.
Then Jenny wins.
Jenny, you've got a Prohibition gift card, $25. Have a roaring holiday season of Prohibition. Book your holiday party in their intimate private room, complete with its own bar. Come see what everybody's whispering about. Prohibition, located at Fashion Place Mall in Murray, next to Nordstrom's. Go to prohibitionutah.com.
All right. Usually we have to go through the stack and everything, and we have to go through some bad ones and present bad ones. This one was right on top, so I didn't
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't get any bad ones.
You
This
just
one-
leap right into it.
I just went, that's good.
That's good enough.
Let's go with this one.
Not great, but good enough.
Jenny Bradley asks, let's see. If you could pick one dead celebrity whose life you could have extended by 10 years.
Only 10. I wonder why just 10 years.
I think her reasoning is
They
to...
were probably old anyway, so...
Or, you know, just to see what they had left to contribute, I think is what she was going for, you know.
Yeah.
What would we have gotten if we had 10 more years of blank? Because she uses David Bowie as an example. They would not be seriously sick or in pain or suffering during the 10 years any more than was normal. Okay.
So there's their same life, 10 more years.
Their
of it.
same life, 10 more years of it.
Well, John Winston Lennon.
Today's a good day to talk about that.
Would leap to mind because of December 8th is the day he was shot to death in New York City.
Yeah, what would he have had to say about things that are going on now? Of course, that'd be way more than 10 years.
It'd be 10 years, yeah. So if it's just 10 years, he wouldn't have.
But
he wouldn't have seen today.
He'd gone through some periods where he was very angry, and some periods where he was drinking way too much, and he was mean and abusive to people. But he had pulled out of that, and he was by all accounts, he was very happy with his life. He was calm. He was feeling good. He was producing some nice music.
It's funny because I was watching that Rolling Stone documentary, and they were talking about his last photo shoot with Ann Leibovitz, and how he was insistent that when we do the cover, he says, I want Yoko there with me. And so they did the photo shoot of that famous picture where he's naked. You know?
Yeah.
And he
Kinda
was
curled around.
Yeah,
her.
She's dressed.
and so they were prepping that, and it was the same day he was shot.
Oh, geez.
Same day.
Oh, was it
Yeah.
really?
And Ann Leibovitz went to Jan Winter and said, you know, Jan says, I have this one picture here I really want to use for the cover of John. And he says, well, you know, Jan, I promised him that it would be this one with Yoko.
She was right.
And she was right, yes.
This music was a little sappy for me.
I like this
but
song.
he was happy. You know, he was, and I think he would have done some great stuff.
This is one I kind of like. And this was from Double Fantasy, I believe.
Yeah.
People say I'm crazy.
Yeah, I like this.
Doing what I'm doing. Well, they give me all kinds of warning.
Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one.
Our life.
That was
Oh,
Yoko.
this is a happy song.
Yeah.
is so precious.
He really was in love with her.
Oh, yeah.
We have grown.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a good choice. That's a good choice. What do you think, Gina?
I had a couple that came to mind. One of them was Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh.
Yeah.
I loved watching him work. I think he was a genius, and I'd like to have seen more stuff he would have done. I never got to see Prince perform live.
Oh.
Even in the couple of times that he was here in town.
Oh, that's where I saw him.
Hey, Prince, could you just hang on for another 10 years
That's
so I can
just
see
so
you live?
I could see you live. And,
After that, go ahead.
well, no, and he had been writing some pretty political stuff before he died. A lot of the
I don't even know what his most recent stuff sounded like. Really.
he got political like during the Trayvon Martin kind of stuff, and Freddie Gray. He wrote a song about Freddie Gray
In Baltimore. Yeah. I love this song.
I would have liked to have seen him, but also to hear more of his stuff.
This is such a great song.
Ryan says, when Prince came to USANA, I sold my tickets at the gate because I was feeling super antisocial that day. I regret it.
Yeah.
That goes back to Gina's go see the person that you
Go
want
see
to
them.
see.
Go.
Whatever you do.
Yeah,
Those are good choices.
And the other one I have was Robin Williams. I'm still sad about that one.
Oh, yeah.
Could have used 10 more years of
10 more
Robin
years of
Williams.
Robin Williams?
I'm excited that I got to meet him
That's right.
Backstage at Kingsbury Hall and talked to him a little bit.
That's right.
It was good.
A lot of people are sending in good suggestions. Kat Martin saying Freddie Mercury, like 10 more years of Freddie Mercury. Some people are saying Anton Yelchin.
Oh, from Star Trek?
From Star Trek. We needed 10 more years of him.
Yeah, he was killed because his car rolled into him.
Yeah.
He was at the gate of his house, and he was trying to open the gate. And the car fell out of gear or whatever, and rolled into him, pinned him against the gate, and killed him.
Let's see. Heath Ledger's a good suggestion. But I'm going to take Carrie Fisher for 100.
Ah, yeah.
I think we needed 10 more years of
one.
Carrie Fisher. She went way too soon.
Now, did you? I don't know. You may be going to mention this, but I'm going to tell. Her dog, Gary,
yes,
is in the movie.
Yeah, I've got that coming up in We have emergency geek news coming up.
That's so funny
today at 8:45. So anyway, there you go. So there it is. Meh question of the week. You have traffic, Gina?
Yeah. Let's refresh the UDOT website. Crash eastbound off-ramp I-80. This is up at Kimball Junction in Summit County. Crash 12th Street, 7th West in Ogden. Let's see. We've got crash South Jordan Parkway, 29th West in South Jordan. Crash northbound 5600 West, 28th South. And crash southbound Mountain View Corridor, 62nd West in West Valley. That's traffic.
All right, thank you.
Here's round 2 boners coming up. Number 1, he has a gun. Shots fired. Number 2, Hickory Tavern has had a change of heart. And number 3, well, what would you all do?
All right. Round 2 of the boner voting coming up, along with Big Boy News. Stand by for that.
And that number 3, that's another creepy one.
Okay. It is Friday. Time for the Gray Whale Entertainment Report. Friday is the international release date for all music, so that means there's new music, movies, games, and records to pick up at Gray Whale. Here you go. Music, Tom York. I guess it's solo stuff. Tomorrow's Modern Boxes is out today. Jim James, his new one, Tribute 2, is out. Kendrick Lamar's Damn is being re-released. It's kind of a collector's edition. Sufjan Stevens' The Greatest Gift LP is out. Imagine Dragons is releasing a complete albums LP box set. All of their stuff on vinyl in a nice set. And speaking of LP reissues, the Beastie Boys are releasing a bunch of theirs. To the Five Boroughs, Hot Sauce Committee, In Sound from Way Up. All being re-released on vinyl today. Movies, better watch out. Despicable Me 3, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Yeah. Re-release. And TV on DVD, Fargo Season 3, which was really good. And then, on the opposite end of the spectrum, Twin Peaks Season 3.
Somebody give that to Carrie for Christmas.
You know, a lot of TV critics put that on their best of the year list.
They did. They're wrong. They did. Special holiday weekend in-store sale. Double killer whale discounts for the weekend, the 8th through the 10th. So go to graywhaleslc.com. It is new and improved and ready for your shopping pleasure. Real-time inventory searches, killer whale membership discount availability. You can use your store credit for purchasing there. And they're always updating sales and promotions and events. Take in your old stuff, trade it in for new stuff. They want your music, movies, games, books, and vinyl. Get cash or store credit toward the purchase of something new. Follow them on... and join the Killer Whale Club to receive lifetime discounts. Follow them on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gray Whale SLC. That is your Gray Whale Entertainment Report.
Gary Jackson, Bill Allred, Gina Barberi, Radio from Hell on X96.
I'm a man. I'm a full-grown man. I'm a man. I'm a rolling stone. I'm a man.
And now, here are Carrie and Bill with another episode of Things Men Would Never Say.
I made it through the rain. I kept myself respected. I made it through the rain.
God, I just love Barry Manilow.
Yeah.
He is one heavy dude. Sing me a little bit more of that, would you, Carrie?
I can't. I'm starting to mist up, and it's too hard to drive when you're all teary.
Yeah. Where the hell are we anyway? I mean, you said you knew where the bookstore was. We're going to be late for the Terry Tempest Williams in-store book signing.
Well, I thought I knew, but I guess we're lost.
Yeah.
We're just going to have to pull over and ask for directions. Oh, by the way, how was your date last night?
No, fine, I guess. The spaghetti factory was good, as usual, but when we got back to her place, all she wanted was sex, sex, sex. I mean, I get so flippin' tired of that. Why can't some women realize that it's possible to be friends without having sex get in the way?
Well, I wouldn't have thought that she would be like that. I mean, she seems like one of the sensitive types. Well, you like her, don't you?
Well, yeah, I like her, but just not in that way. I mean, she seems like one of the sensitive types, you're right, but she doesn't really excite me sexually. I mean, for one thing, her breasts are just too darn big.
Well, I didn't want to say anything, but I know what you mean. What's your ideal woman look like?
Oh, that's really easy. That chick on Murder, She Wrote.
Angela Lansbury?
Yeah.
Just thinking about her, and I'm pitching a tent.
Yeah. Hey, pull over here at the 7-Eleven, will you? And I'll ask for directions to the bookstore. Ah, dang, it's raining out. Hey, have you got a rain hat that I can borrow?
Well, I couldn't find mine when I left the house, and so I just put this bread sack over my head.
All right, well, give me that then. It's going to look pretty silly, but I didn't spend 3 hours and $50 at the salon to have this hair ruined in the rain.
Okay, careful, don't slip. I made it through the rain. I kept my point of view.
Join Carrie and Bill again soon for more of the things men would never say here on X96.
I'm a man. I'm a full-grown man. I'm a man. I'm a rolling stone.
See, it's Weenie in the butt.
Yes.
See,
Yeah.
that's the joke.
We ought to do that bit.
It's already done.
That's our prank.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah,
That's our prank phone call.
You can't do it better than that.
No, I know, but we should just do it every day. Once a day, we do. We call it. Someone if their refrigerator is running.
Oh, that's very good.
Now, see, this is the old one. Nobody would get anymore. You would say, "Do you have Prince Albert in a can?" Because there used to be a tobacco with Prince Albert on the, and it was in a can. It was on the, but nobody get that joke anymore.
No.
Yeah, they'd say Prince Albert in a can. And say, "Well, you better let him out."
I don't understand.
Maybe that's the one we should do.
What do you mean?
Yeah, you have Prince Albert in the can.
I don't get it.
What? Huh?
Oh, just be no.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well,
sorry.
Well, we'll call somebody else. All right.
Time for round 2 of your boner voting. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. You will decide with your vote who of these 3 is the worst. Which one of these 3 deserves to go to Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day? It'll go up against the winner of round 1. Boner Fight happens at 9:20. 2 candidates now, then a 3rd candidate after the big boy news. Once you've heard all 3, you vote. One of you random boner voters will receive
a hearty handshake from Bill. I've seen him pass them out.
Just ask me.
Are you a 2-shake? Is it a...
Yeah.
Is there a standard? Is there a...
I'll be as hearty as you want me to be.
Do you do the handshake, but then you bring the other hand over and sort of...
Sometimes.
That's seal the deal, kind of?
Sometimes.
That seems hearty.
Sometimes. All right, here's boner candidate number 1. He has a gun. Shots fired. In Orem, a man who thought he could get police to respond to his house faster if he told them there was an active shooter inside is now facing felony charges. The 53-year-old Orem man was charged this week with emergency report abuse, a 3rd-degree felony. On July 3, the man called 911 to report that there was a person in his residence that had a gun and wanted to kill 2 people, and shots had been fired. And he also asked them if their refrigerator was running. Based on that call, police responded in emergency fashion, and they found no active shooter. When officers arrived, the man advised them that there had only been a loud domestic argument, that no gun was involved, no shots fired. He told police officers that he had made those statements to the 911 operator in order to get the police to respond quicker, and that he had done this before and saw no problem with it. Well, there is a problem with it, and he's been charged with a felony. Boner candidate number 1, he has a gun, shots fired. You know, that story isn't really very clear in terms of the domestic argument. I don't think he was having a domestic argument. I think it was in some place in the vicinity that he was living, but it doesn't make that clear.
All right, yeah, I was not sure.
All right, here's boner candidate number 2. Hickory Tavern has had a change of heart.
Okay.
A restaurant worker in North Carolina has been fired after he shared a picture of a customer's anti-gay receipt on Facebook. Now, the server, identified only as Justin S., posted a photo of a receipt where a customer wrote on it, hand wrote in the margins. It said, "Our gay waiter made me want to throw up on my food. He ruined my experience. We will not be back to your restaurant." It was over the customer's name. Justin wrote, "Please read the ignorance." The photo started to gain attention once he published it on Facebook, and eventually it was seen by his employer, Hickory Tavern, which is a small chain of restaurants established in 3 states in the South. The restaurant informed Justin S. he had violated a company policy that prohibits employees from posting credit card receipts online, and they fired him. Well, Justin was fired, and he then talked about being fired, and there was an outcry. Don't fire him. You know, people were, that's not fair. And so Hickory Tavern said, well, we've had a change of heart. Justin, you can come back to work. But Justin said...
Yeah, I was going to say, does he want to come back?
Justin said, no, thank you.
I think that was the wise choice.
Yeah. Boner candidate number 2, Hickory Tavern's had a change of heart.
All right.
Coming up in a moment, a very distasteful boner candidate, I'll have to warn you. I've just titled it, well, what would you all do?
Now, what would y'all do?
Let's see. Boner candidate number 3 for round 2 after this big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by
Haster Games has the best selection of the latest board games, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons & Dragons, and more. It's a great place to stay and play. Remember, Haster has it, located at 6831 South State and online at hastergames.com.
Well, there is a word that the Simpsons, the wonderful cartoon show, I guess you call it, on TV, might kill off Apu. After the documentary that Carrie, I guess you watched it with your wife, right? It's a documentary called The Problem with Apu, and it examines the problematic role of the character Apu, and I'm sure goes wider than that. Talks about, I would assume, Carrie, you should address it, stereotypes. And
well, yeah, it talks about, it's this comedian. I can't recall his name.
His name is Hari Kondabolu.
Yes, I follow him on Twitter. And he just, he wanted to let everybody know about his experience growing up being the Indian guy and how everybody else sees Indian guys
as Apu.
Yeah.
And like it showed him at one of his shows in Denver where he's doing jokes and somebody in the audience yells, "Thank you, come again." Just,
Yeah.
and so it tells the story of how he's first generation and how the character has always been problematic and it's in the industry as well because he talks to other actors, Indian actors and comedians who say, yeah, I go in and I read for the taxi cab driver. I read for the guy that runs the convenience store. I never read for the lead.
Aziz Ansari has really addressed all of this too.
Exactly.
And his other problem is that it's voiced by a white guy.
And that's another big
Hank
problem.
Azaria.
Yes.
So it's the documentary has won widespread acclaim. He does have one regret, the director, Kondabolu says. He said, I never got to talk to Hank Azaria on camera about the role. Apparently he did talk to him.
He eventually did, but not on camera.
I wanted to have a real conversation with him at the end of the film, and I didn't get a chance to do that.
I bet they'll do it.
They'll
do it on YouTube. They'll do it on... He and Hank Azaria will do a conversation.
Oh, probably.
I don't think they'll kill it.
Dylan is our resident Simpsons expert. Excuse me.
One thing that's a lot of people have been doing is finding how can you write Apu at this point to make him better? Like, could you make Apu become a business tycoon and rival Mr. Burns for the richest man in Springfield?
That would work.
Could you? Some people have said, what if you just make Apu wake up one day and say, I've been American all along, and I've just been putting on this accent.
And that was suggested in the documentary by one of the comedians. He says, I think it would be hilarious if
somebody
he just
catches him in an American accent.
If he just said,
putting it on.
I've been doing it,
and then apologizes to everyone.
Yeah.
I know I'm sorry. It's a stereotype, and I didn't mean to do it.
I could see all of that rather than just them killing off the character. I could see them having.
The one thing I would say about Apu that he is a stereotype, and I'm not. I'm a white guy, but the one thing that I kind of always saves that for me is that he's so nice for the most part. He's a character without malice most of the time. He's just a nice guy.
He does mark up his prices a lot in the Quickie Mart.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do.
And they point that out, is that he will pick up hot dogs off the floor and still sell them.
What's a good squishy going for these days?
I don't know.
So see the documentary and think
that's
about
true,
it.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, and I agree with it.
After the documentary, I went, they're right.
Yeah.
Hours after President Trump announced his scaled-back vision for Bears Ears National Monument, a coalition of 5 Native American tribes filed the first lawsuit of many that were promised to challenge the executive action. Their argument, Trump does not have the legal authority to do what he did, shrinking the designation. They declared war on us today, said Sean Chapus, a member of the Ute tribe, if he's with the tribe's business committee. If they think we're not prepared to protect it, they're kidding themselves. The courts have not weighed in on the matter since the Antiquities Act's passage 111 years ago. The law authorizes presidents to unilaterally set aside public lands to protect objects of historic and scientific interest, which President Obama used to designate the 1.35 million acres in San Juan County. But the 5 tribes have gathered together, and they're going to, and you know, they should be treated like for what they are. They are sovereign nations. It's like dealing with people from Poland or people from Japan or people from England. They are their own country in this country, and they should be treated with the respect of as you would with other countries. So they're going to have a big conference here. I think, is it in Provo, to see if what Utahns think if the Shroud of Turin is real.
What?
They're having a conference?
Yeah.
It's already been proved not real.
Yeah, I don't think that's something you decide at a conference.
This is a Catholic talking.
There is a conference from 9 a.m. to noon on Saturday and again on Sunday. It'll feature Russ Perrault, president and founder of the Atlanta-based Shroud of Turin Education Project. After all the research we've done on the Shroud, it still remains a mystery, Perrault says.
No.
And this is pretty remarkable, that it remains inexplicable to this day. I don't think that's true.
No, the science is in on that.
Yeah, they did some
some
DNA
dating
testing
on things, and they tried to recreate it, and they said it's a really good fake, but it's a fake.
Yeah, and for those
it's
of you
very well done.
And for those of you who don't know what the Shroud of Turin is, it's a piece of cloth that was allegedly put over Christ's face after he died, and it left a bloody imprint of his face.
No, not just the face, the whole body.
Oh, is it the whole body?
Because they say, oh, look, see, here's the blood where the soldier poked him in the side, and here's the blood where the hands, it was
the burial shroud of Christ.
It's a very, very old, very, very historic fake, but it's a fake.
Oh, well, I don't believe it. And the earth is flat, too. Let's see here.
I see all these people are defending The Simpsons now. Look, go watch the documentary and then decide, all right? God.
President Trump informally recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel on Wednesday declared that the United States still supported a two-state solution to settle the conflict between the Israelis and the Palestinians. The two-state solution, of course, being there should be a country of Palestine and a country of Israel. Right now, it's just Israel, and the Palestinians have sort of are in there. He says, well, we're still committed to the two-state solution. The Palestinians said, not so much. We're not anymore. And there has been violence breaking out all over the place in Israel between the Israelis and Palestinians because of what Donald Trump said, because of him saying we're going to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. And any moron could have predicted that violence would start when he did that. Anybody could have. I could have predicted that, and I'm a moron.
Well, it's not just. I think he wanted the violence, though. I don't think it's that he couldn't have predicted it. I think the violence is a distraction, and I think the violence is, well, don't get rid of me as president because things are bad, and you need
we need to come together as a nation to support me.
And South Salt Lake has changed its liquor laws to attract breweries. The city council unanimously approved the change 6-0. Under the changes, South Salt Lake is no longer has a quota on the number of breweries within city limits. Previously, it only allowed one for every 10,000 residents, and with 2 breweries, it had already used that up. In addition, small brewers had no longer have to meet a 5-barrel production minimum. So now they've gotten rid of all of that, and there's going to be, I'm telling you, there will be a brewery on every corner in South Salt Lake before you know it.
Well, that's good news.
Every corner. It's I don't care. And do we have any time left?
No.
Okay.
Sports weather traffic?
They might allow beards at BYU.
Oh. Wow.
Finally?
Hang on to that.
Yeah, I will.
Let's see. Sports. The Jazz have lost their second game in a row to the Houston Rockets, 112-101. University of Utah's Matt Gay won the Lou Groza Award for kicking stuff very accurately. And
I wasn't even considered this year.
You need to kick more things.
I kick
Bill.
stuff.
Weather, it's we're in an elongated inversion period with no end in sight.
And we won't do anything about it.
UDOT's
Big
actually
fans.
sending out alerts. UTA is saying,
If Norm
please-
Bangerter were alive, he built that pump out on the Great Salt Lake. He'd say, he'd go for it. Let's put some big fans up on the top of the mountains.
Let's see. The weather balloon that was released overnight confirms that the inversion significantly strengthened overnight, which means cold in the valley and no change happening anytime soon. Highs mid to upper 30s.
Well, that's just great.
No, it's
Why-
not.
why
It's
not-
terrible.
I said that bitterly.
That's just great. Crash US 8924 south of Woods Cross. The northbound and southbound left lanes are closed. Crash Redwood Road at Center Street in North Salt Lake. Crash eastbound off-ramp I-80 at Kimball Junction in Summit County. And I'm starting to lose my voice even more. Open enrollment questions today at 9. Radio from Hell with special guest Greg Reed from Select Health will be talking about health insurance open enrollment. Go to selecthealth.org.
You need to be drinking water, bunches of water.
I have Diet Coke.
Water.
There's water in that.
Water.
It's the number one ingredient in this is water.
Water, Gina. Please drink some water. I forgot to mention in the news, and I'm glad I saw Mother tweeted this.
Mother?
Thank you, son.
The Vice President, Mike Pence's cat, has died.
Pickle?
Pickle.
How do you know Mike Pence's cat's name?
Because it's a stupid name.
Pickle?
And it's Mike Pence.
And yeah, I forgot to mention it in the news, but my condolences go out to the Pences.
All right.
Sorry. All right, here's boner candidate number 3. It's really creepy. What would you all do? I mean, he came up with a solution. What would you do? Aaron Grazer. Oh, no, I'm sorry. A Connecticut man, not Aaron Grazer. I hate the way they do this. A Connecticut man is behind bars because he had the sex with his dead girlfriend.
Ew, God.
He said, I was trying to wake her up. His name is Aaron Grazer. He's 39. He was sentenced to a year in prison for 4th-degree assault of a corpse.
Now meaning he thought he could bring her back from the dead?
Well, so cops found Mr. Grazer's girlfriend dead in their apartment and surrounded by needles. Mr. Grazer told police he found her unresponsive with heroin and drug paraphernalia, and he decided sex would be the best way to rouse her because she didn't like sleeping with him. So
surely if anything could wake her up, that would be it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Aaron stated he listened to see if the victim was breathing, and he said, I heard some gurgling. Wow. And he said he knew the victim hated having sex with him, so he figured that the victim might wake up if he had the sex with her. Oh, by the way, he also tied her ankles and her wrists to the bedpost.
Because if she wakes up, you want her to...
Well, you want her to...
not get away?
Well, not hit him, because she doesn't like
Oh,
it.
because she... Okay.
See? I mean, what would you all do? And that is boner candidate number 3.
All right, let's review the first 2 and vote.
Let's see. We had boner candidate number 1. He has a gun. Shots fired. That's what a guy in Orem called 911 and told the cops because he wanted them there fast. Well, it worked, but there was nobody with a gun and no shots fired. He just wanted them there quickly. Boner candidate number 2. Hickory Tavern has had a change of heart. A waiter at Hickory Tavern was fired after sharing a customer's homophobic receipt. The Hickory Tavern fired him, but then they got a lot of public comment saying you shouldn't have done that. They've offered him his job back, but he's not going. And boner candidate number 3, I mean, what would you all do?
All right, this is it. It's round 2. You've got to decide of these 3 candidates, which is the worst. Which one deserves to go forward to Boner Dome for Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day. You'll go up against the winner of round 1. Boner Fights at 9:20. So decide 1, 2, or 3 of these candidates. Which number of the candidate you think should win. Put it in the message of a text and text that to 33986. Call 877-602-9696. Use your voice. or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Round 2, December 8, and vote there. And if you don't see that box refresh, it should appear. You've only got 4 minutes, though. Let's go. Round 2, boner voting. On it.
Keep the radio on. A 1 hour nonstop music wingding starts at 10. X96.
Gina, most people, when you go to a party and someone turns on the TV, the party goes from within about 15 minutes to everybody staring blankly at the television.
That's true.
And not talking to each other.
That is true.
So it'll be a good thing to do at the party.
Yeah.
The point of the party, if you're having a TV party, then yeah, turn on the TV.
Yeah.
Otherwise, don't.
Yeah.
Is that why your parties don't work,
I don't
Gina?
know.
Could that
I'm not
be
good
it?
at having parties.
When's the last time you gave a party?
I don't know. What counts as a party? Is having people over a party? Or do you have to have, like, a celebration of something?
No, I think if you invite people over, it's a party. Even if it's a family dinner, it's a family dinner party.
Oh, then we have those all the time.
Do you?
Yeah.
And the TV goes on.
No.
After dinner?
No. No TV.
During dinner?
No. Music.
Oh.
That's it. No TV.
I love people who watch TV during dinner and have TVs in their kitchens and stuff. That's just really odd,
Just
I
says
think.
we don't want to talk to each
Yeah.
other ever for any reason.
Yeah, it's just really strange. I knew a family who had a small TV on their dinner table, and they would eat dinner and watch television.
Sitting on the table.
Yeah, sitting on the corner of the dinner table, a small television, and it was on when they ate dinner.
So they never talked to each
No,
other.
not much.
Maybe that kept the fights down.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Now, when we watch TV and eat at the same time, it's because usually we don't have the time to do them both proper.
So then do you take
we
the
have to
food to the
combine.
couch?
Yeah. Take the food downstairs.
When I first met my wife, I was not adverse to doing that. I was also not adverse to having a television in the bedroom, and she was against both of those things. And so we have not done them in, I haven't done them in years, and now I can't imagine doing it.
Even having a TV in your bedroom?
No, God, no. No TV in the bedroom.
Why?
Especially not in the bedroom.
Why especially not in the bedroom?
Because
you don't like to get under the covers and...
Because it's useless. For me, it's useless. If I had a TV in the bedroom, I mean, when I go in the bedroom and get in the bed, you know what I do? Bonk, sleep. Within 2 minutes, I'm out. And if there was a TV in the bedroom, I would be out within 30 seconds. I mean, it would serve no use. It would just serve absolutely no purpose to me to have a TV in the bedroom.
Got to have a TV in the bedroom.
Do you always watch TV before you go to bed?
No. No, it gets turned on maybe once a week.
But you got to have it.
But you got to have it. Those Saturday mornings when you wake up and you're not going anywhere and you're just kind of lying there, you're like, oh, let's see what's on.
Yeah.
That'd be
Let's
nice.
watch little cartoons.
See,
That would be nice.
You know what you need?
You know.
You need what we have is like a cabinet that you can just totally
Yeah.
shut it off.
That's
so
what we have.
So you can
Well, and then
pretend there's no TV in there until you really
The other
want
reason
one.
you need the TV in the bedroom is, well, the porn. But that's
Well, yeah,
another subject altogether that
They have porn on TV?
Sure.
You can put the porn on TV.
Really?
Uh-huh.
You control the vertical. You control the horizontal.
No, the porn controls the vertical.
X96.
All right, it's time to award round 2 of your boner.
And round 2 of the boner voting is brought to you in part by nearly a whole box of Triscuits.
Wow.
I do like a Triscuit.
Yeah.
I don't think I could eat nearly a whole box
I
of them.
I got Munchie and
Triscuit with a little piece of salami.
just straight Triscuits.
And you no longer have to meet a creepy guy in a parking lot to get a good deal on a used smartphone. Bad Apple buys, sells, and will trade in used cell phones. Unlike the creepy parking lot guy, they guarantee their refurbished phones. Information at more at badapplerepair.com.
So, boner candidate number 1 was he has a gun, shots fired. Guy down in Orem calling 911, claiming there was an active shooter in his house trying to kill 2 people. There wasn't. He just did that to get the cops there faster to help with a domestic disturbance. Boner candidate number 2, Hickory Tavern. Well, we've had a change of heart. We'll get that gay waiter back here. It's okay. Gay waiter posting a homophobic slur that had been written on a receipt. One of his customers, he posted it on Facebook, and the Hickory Tavern fired him. There was an outcry against the Hickory Tavern. They people went on the Hickory Tavern website and took them to task for firing the guy, and so they've offered him his job back.
Yeah, he didn't want that job.
No,
back.
I ain't going to work back there. There's plenty of places at a gay waiter, and they'll be nice to me. And then boner candidate number 3, what would you all do? Man said he had sex with his dead girlfriend because he was trying to wake her up. Let's see. One of you random voters will get a hearty handshake from me, Bill Allred, and the winner, number 3. What would you all do?
Yeah, I kind of saw that coming. And it is now the winner of round 2. It goes up against the winner of round 1 for boner fight. That happens at 9:20. All right. Emergency geek news.
Why is it an emergency?
Some breaking stuff.
This just
I
in?
just can't wait
Just can't
all
wait.
weekend.
No. Because it's a couple of things. First of all, we know that you don't work at work, especially on a Friday. What you're going to be doing is sitting around and watching the new Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom trailer.
Are
you dating like an accountant now, or
Owen,
ventriloquist?
stop it.
You love a dummy.
This is not why we're here. You can blame me.
You remember at the end of the last one, they all evacuated
I know why
the
we're
island.
here.
The place was going crazy.
Save the dinosaurs from
But now they're going back
explode.
because apparently there's an active volcano on the island, and maybe they'll go back and save the dinosaurs.
Oh, look at that cute dinosaur.
Because they just abandoned everything
Well,
there?
yeah, they just left everything. They all just
These
escaped.
animals deserve the same protections given to other species, or should they just be left to die?
Big old brontosaurus.
They're going to put them all on a big
These creatures
boat?
were here before us.
There's Ian Malcolm.
And if we're not careful,
Problem.
they're going to be here after.
So it's a.
You know me.
Remember the velociraptors that he knew and trained?
Pal.
His pal. But but yeah, it looks exciting.
Sounds like they're trying to save things they don't.
Yeah, because it's a
want
whole.
saving.
It's a whole. You know, yeah, all these animals will die. So, well, maybe they should.
They died
you know?
before. It ain't
And,
natural.
And the T-Rex is still there, and
It looks like a T-Rex with horns.
yeah, that was from the last one. Did you see the last one?
Cannot be contained. Life breaks free. Life finds a way.
Mm-hmm. There you go. And there's a great scene at the end where it's the edge of a cliff and the volcano's going off, and there are just hundreds of dinosaurs running toward the water, and the people are standing on the edge of the cliff. You know, so very scary. I get the feeling that there are some dinosaurs who will not make it, and of course, you know, there are some people who won't make it.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Okay.
I'm thinking it's Ian Malcolm who won't make it.
You shut up.
If he even gets to the island is the question.
Oh, he may not, I guess.
He may not. So, yeah, you'll be watching that today. The other thing you'll be talking about today is This whole Quentin Tarantino Star Trek thing.
The rated R Star Trek movie?
Yeah, which yesterday I was just kind of, well, yeah,
seems more likely.
It's
huh?
starting to look more and more like it could possibly happen.
Mm-hmm.
You're not willing to go all the way with it
I'm
just
not
yet?
I mean, frankly, I love the idea.
An R-rated Star Trek?
Now, he would not write it. He would just direct it. But he said that if he's involved at all, I can't have any constraints. I want to be able to. So you've got to open yourself up to the possibility of an R rating. He has the storyline, and he's turning it over to some script writers. There's 3 of them that are all going to take a swing at the idea that he has, and then he'll pick, and then he'll probably take it from there and go, here, do this, this, this. Now, I am a Star Trek fan. And
really?
Yeah.
And
you don't need to say that.
And I say this with love to my other Star Trek fans.
Oh, I think I know.
You guys, oftentimes, we are our own worst enemy when it comes to Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of call them as DC fans are to superheroes, Star Trek fans are to sci-fi. We can get caught up in the canon. We can get caught up in
the timeline.
The timelines. We can get caught up in Gene wouldn't want it this way. And to which I say, and I've always said, show me what you've got first.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the Star Trek fans are going to flip out when they see rated R because Gene wouldn't want it that way.
But even in your quote from Quentin Tarantino, you said it's not necessarily rated R.
Yeah,
just you have to be open to if it takes me there, it takes
it goes
me there.
Yeah. So, but it's looking more and more like it might happen. And what the plot is all speculation right now. We have Quentin on tape talking about what he liked in classic Star Trek.
Uh-huh.
And there's also, we have him on the record talking about how he liked the mirror universe and how he liked the ships from the past coming to the present. And so there's something along those lines.
And he likes Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
so they can have the time a trip back into the past where they all have to dress up in disguises and they meet Samuel L. Jackson on the street and.
So I would just say to the Star Trek fans that are upset, calm down. It may not even happen. All right? Let's just wait. Let's wait and see.
You spend so much of your geek time doing this, Carrie.
Yes. You spend all your time fretting about this stuff, and you shouldn't.
Be glad they're making a new Star Trek movie.
And you people ought to just let go of Carrie's apron strings, as they say.
If I have to, I'll hold your hand and say, calm down. It might not even happen. That and the raging LA fires have brought several Hollywood productions to a screeching halt. Apparently, they have shut down Fox's Last Man on Earth. Bravo's flipping out. Oh, no.
I would think Last Man on Earth this would be perfect for.
Goliath has been shut down. SWAT and Westworld have all been shut down. So there will be some delays in your favorite shows, just so you know. There you go. Emergency geek news warning.
All right. Thanks for that, though.
No problem.
Let's see. Crash southbound US 89, 26 South and Woods Cross. Cars are blocking the left lane and the median in both directions there. We have a crash Redwood Road, Center Street, North Salt Lake in Davis County. And looks like that's about it. Things seem to be clearing up a little bit. That's traffic.
All right. Thank you very much.
I really like that Diamonds Direct store.
Yes.
It's a beautiful showroom. Yeah. In fact, it's almost too beautiful. I think you might walk in there and go, well, I can't afford anything in here. No, you can.
Yeah, it's great. And they're doing a lot of, they put together some special collections for Christmas. So there are just beautiful diamonds, of course. But they also have stunning pendants and rare colored gemstones, classic eternity bands, and tons of unique designer pieces, new styles, all one of a kind. And for Christmas, you can also buy stuff there. 3 years, no interest financing.
Which is just amazing.
Yeah.
If you think about it, if you tried real hard, you could get that purchase paid off in 3 years or less.
Yeah. So I mean, go in and go into Diamonds Direct, find the piece you want, and take the price and divide it by 36. That's 36 months. So that'll tell you what your monthly payment is.
And they're great people down there.
Yeah.
Know their stuff.
Diamonds Direct. Engagement rings are also included in this sale.
Oh.
So they're located in 6400 South, right across from the Fashion Place Mall. Diamonds Direct.
X96 invites you to help people experiencing homelessness this holiday season. Tonight,
I didn't
almost
see any of this. I
3,000
just
people,
heard it
including
secondhand.
800
I had
children, will be safe and warm in the Road Homes emergency shelters or housing programs.
LA. Drop off
I got
blankets,
her
coats,
drunk
boots, hats,
3
and
times.
gloves at any Rocky Mountain Chevy dealer.
And it wasn't
join
hard.
us
It cost
on
him a
December
total of
20th and
$10
21st
Yeah.
as
for
we
all
do
these
our
times.
annual
Cheap
broadcast
drunk.
from the Road
Well,
Home.
see, this is a
X96
little
will
secret.
broadcast live
You
for
don't
2
take
days
a
from the
girl
Road
to
Home's
dinner and
Salt
then
Lake Community
drinks.
Shelter
You
to
always
raise
take her
funds
to
to provide
drinks first,
shelter,
because she's
supportive
drinking on an
services,
empty
and
stomach.
housing
Yes, she
all
is.
year long.
Now, you tell me what you remember, and I'll fill in the holes.
I remember
Because there were some things that she said that she doesn't remember.
I think you're making stuff up to make me think I was drunker than you think I am.
I'm not making anything up. I don't need
to.
make
you thinker than I drunk I am.
So the first night we were there, Bill was with his family doing family stuff. So Carrie,
Every night.
yeah. So Carrie was babysitting me
Because Gina has to have somebody babysit.
I was all alone.
Usually it's both of us, Carrie and I. And when it's Carrie and it's me babysitting Gina, it's like those old cartoons with the little devil on one shoulder and the good angel on the other shoulder. Carrie, of course, being the little devil.
Carrie's been trying to get me drunk for years.
Well,
It's where repetitive tasks can be
And I
automated
wasn't
and
doing
taken
it
off
on
your
my
hands,
own.
and
I
where
always
more
say, "No,
complex
you don't
projects
have to."
take less time.
So we go to Trader
Meaning
Vic's, which
everyone
is
gets
in
to
the
done
hotel. It's
faster.
Connected to it's
From brand
and
new
it's-
businesses to
it's an old
established enterprise
hotel, so
companies,
there's no
Slack
straight
is where
route to
work
get to Trader
happens.
Vic's. You have
Visit
to wind through
slack.com
hallways
to find
and-
out more.
Because they never do things like that in new
Offer
buildings.
not valid in all states or where prohibited by
Just
law.
been
Loans are
around
subject
a
to
lot,
lender
haven't
approval.
you?
See website for
It was a
details.
circuitous
Need some extra
route
cash
to get
today?
there. Sure.
Do you have
And we
bad
sit
credit
down
or
and-
maxed out
and-
credit
and Ben,
cards?
the
If so,
bartender,
turn your
brings over
radio
the
up.
menu. And this is the menu of the
57cash.com is one of the
drinks, not
nation's
the menu
largest
of the
personal
food.
loan
Trader
networks
Vic's
with over
famous for
50
its
different
big
lenders.
frou-frou.
Now you
Fruity
can get a
drinks,
personal
drinks
loan for up
served
to
in
$5,000 with any type of
parasols and
credit
giant
discreetly from your
chunks of,
computer or
watermelon
smartphone,
and
and with
pineapple.
no
You can
paperwork
buy
to send
Trader
in.
Vic's
That's right,
syrups
no
and things
paperwork
for
whatsoever.
drinks.
And I
Your
said, well,
cash
I'd
will
like
hit
a
your bank
margarita, 'cause
account
that's-
as soon as
whenever I
tomorrow,
do
as our
actually
lenders have
have
millions
a
of
mixed
dollars to
drink,
lend,
that's the one I
regardless of your
have. I
credit
said, "Do you think I
history.
can get
Just
one?"
have a
She doesn't have a
checking
real
account and a
margarita.
regular source of
She
income.
has
Go
a
to
snow cone.
57cash.com
Essentially.
and you can get the loan
Because
you
a real
need
margarita
now,
is not
regardless of your
blended.
credit.
So
Go to
I said, well, I'd like that.
$57cash.com
Here's
from
one
your
treat to make
smartphone
it
or
out. I said,
computer
"No,
to
I'm
get that
here.
cash you need.
I'm
Visit
gonna order something off
57cash.com.
the-
Type
You go,
www.57cash.com
So she ordered-
directly into
what
the
was
address
it? I don't
bar.
know.
That's
It's called some kind of rum punch
57cash.com.
thing. Yeah.
57cash.com.
I don't remember what it was called. It was like it was in a tall glass. It was red. It looked like Hawaiian punch.
Had umbrellas and
Had a
fruit
chunk of
and-
pineapple and all that stuff.
And I had one, and this was before the food, and then Carrie ordered another, and he made me get another, and that was it.
That was it. She was gone.
Where did she go?
Empty stomach, drink and a half. She was in outer space.
I was giggling, and I kept leaning on you, I think.
You did.
Did I touch you a lot?
Mhm.
Yeah. But then you told me after the fact that
Now,
I was saying
I want you to
things.
tell me what you remember. Then I will fill in the holes. What do you remember after that?
I remember I ordered a steak.
And you liked a steak. You ate it all.
And a lettuce wrap. I had some lettuce wrap.
She was proud of the fact that she had a lettuce wrap.
And this is all after one drink.
Yeah.
I had a fortune cookie with a misspelling on it.
Oh, did you save that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I have that. That's all I remember, really.
You remember going back to the room?
Did you guys go back to the same room?
Or did you just wake up in your room?
No, I went back there somehow.
You went back to your room and then you watched Dances with Wolves.
Oh, that's what I did.
That's what you do remember.
Because it was on HBO. Although I always have to turn it off when the white man comes, because that's when it gets sad.
I always have to turn it, which implies, of course, that she
she's seen it
watches
more
it
than once.
over and over and over again.
Okay.
So that's what I remember.
That's what you remember. Okay.
What is she leaving out?
A lot.
What?
Giggling uncontrollably.
About?
Being drunk.
This is
I'm a naughty girl.
This is a drink and a half.
And I kept calling
I'm not
her.
exaggerating.
All I had to do to elicit, not kidding, 3 minutes worth of uncontrolled giggling was call her Drinky McWeather. That was all I had to do.
Well, see, it's working now, and she's sober, so I think she's sober.
I have muscle memory from
Drinky McWeather.
How would it be possible for you to have muscle memory? It would imply muscles.
That's right. All through the rest of dinner, she just kept laughing when she wasn't eating, and she kept saying, "I'm not a cheap date. I'm not a cheap date." I said, "No, Gina, of course you're not. You drank on an empty stomach. It's more efficient that way."
But I never do. I'm
not a cheap date. I'm not a cheap date.
I never do that. I surprised myself how drunk I was on so little alcohol.
Now, the other thing she left out was when she was sober. When we were walking to Trader Vic's, that long
XRKFM and
walk that she
HD1,
talked.
Provo, Ogden, Salt Lake City, 96.3 FM, and streaming on x96.com and our free app. Utah's original alternative for more than 2 decades. 96.3 FM, X96.
This case, known as the Masterpiece Cake Shop, is about...
(77602-9696) or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
It's the X Days of Xmas.
Yes.
And our prize today, our gift to you all day today, you no longer have to meet a creepy guy in a parking lot to get a good deal on a used smartphone. Bad Apple buys, sells, and will trade used cell phones. Unlike the creepy parking lot guy, they guarantee their refurbished phones. Go to badapplerepair.com. We have a $25 Bad Apple gift certificate and a piece of the Urban Armor gear, which is really good gear to protect your devices.
Oh, a box for your for your phone,
a cover
essentially,
or a tablet, or so I'm going to give you a keyword, and you'll text that to 33986. The keyword is protect, PROTECT, protect.
All right, it's time to talk about health insurance. And I mean, it is a big topic and a big deal, and people are worried about it. And so we have somebody here who's capable and helpful to guide us through this mess that is health insurance. His name is Greg Reed, and he does public relations for Select Health. Hi, Greg.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So, Greg, it is a mess in a way, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's a challenge.
You understand it, though.
I do. I'm affected by it just like everyone else.
Yeah.
You bet.
So Select Health is happy to guide you through all of this, and let's talk a little bit about it right now. So, what does Select Health do exactly? I mean,
Well,
you're insured?
Select Health is a health insurance arm of Intermountain Healthcare.
Oh, I see.
We've been around for 35 years. We've been covering Utahns for quite a long time.
Local. They're a local company.
We are local, not-for-profit company. You know, we've been providing quality health insurance. We are right out there in Murray off of 53rd South. You know, we are working through the same challenges that everybody else is and trying to simplify it as best we can. You know, the Affordable Care Act was, what, over 1,500 pages?
You mean Obamacare?
Yes, Obamacare,
yes.
So, you know, we're actually working for our members to simplify that because we realize that not everyone's going to read.
So the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, has not disappeared.
It is not.
It's still there, but they've cut down the time, the open enrollment time for that.
Sure,
right?
there's been some tweaking to it, and the open enrollment time has been shortened. So it started November 1st. It ends December 15th. So those are that's the date that doesn't move. It's not expanded as it has been in years past. So you're not going to have that luxury.
A week from now, seven days.
Week from now. Think of it, you know, that don't procrastinate. Know that date. Work towards that to get what you need.
Now, the subsidies, I think people have a misconception that the subsidies for lower income people have been gotten rid of, and that's not the case.
No, there's some changes, but that is not the case. You know, healthcare.gov is a highly effective website. You can find out if you have cost share reductions, if you have tax subsidies, find out what your individual situation is, and then from there you can become the savvy shopper.
Who are we talking to exactly, though, Brian? Or Greg, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Who are we talking to? Who is uninsured? How many people are we talking to?
Oh, boy, there is a lot in the state of Utah.
Really?
I can't pin the exact number down, but there is even some changes in the marketplace. Some companies have left the marketplace.
Other insurance
companies have left the marketplace. So
or folded. As,
yeah. So there's individuals out there that had insurance now have to make a decision on what to do next.
I see.
So we want to help those. I mean, that could be, you know, upwards around 70,000 individuals out there.
So we're talking to people who don't have insurance through their workplace, probably.
Yes, individuals, there's families. There's a lot of situations that does not happen for a small or a large employer, that you have to find insurance on your own.
Select Health. Greg Reed is the PR guy for Select Health, and I know you had or is it coming up, the event where people can come out to Select Health and
you bet. It is coming up. We had one at the start of the open enrollment period. We'll get close to the end. We'll have it on the 9th at Select Health.
That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. So you realize that some people, you know, they have a lot of questions when they look on the computer. Just like, you know, you're doing your taxes. Hey, I want to find a professional that can help me out with this.
That's what I always do.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything on my own. I always go ask a smart person to help me.
So we have some insurance brokers. We have staff that are available to you during that time, 10 to 2 on the 9th. You can have some face-to-face, you know, find out what your situation is, how they can help you.
Because everybody's different.
Everybody is so different. I can't hear and generalize it at all. There are so many different variables that happens with everybody.
But you can sit down with an expert, and they'll walk you through the process.
Yeah, there's no cost, and that you can have an educated choice, know what your options are.
Oh, Greg, I should ask you this, too. Is it still the law that you have to have health insurance?
It is.
Yeah.
So you will be penalized if you don't.
They tried to get rid of that, or they were talking about it, but they didn't.
They did not. And you know, other times where you need health insurance is when you have a life event. We know there's opportunities where one changes jobs, where one gets married. Sure, those life events you can do outside of the open enrollment period.
Have a baby. That's another one.
Have a baby, you bet. So there are opportunities where you can throughout the year, but just know that in this year, the 15th is a deadline.
That's it.
That's it.
You know, I think people get scared, too. They think that there's not an affordable insurance out there for them. Can they find affordable insurance?
Yeah, affordable is kind of a nebulous term. It's different for everybody. So like Gina said, different scenarios happen where you can get a cost savings reduction, you can get a tax credit. Find out what that is available to you, and then we can find out the affordability thereof.
Yeah, and I think what we're kind of demonstrating here is that there are so many options for health insurance.
Oh, there is.
That you really need to talk to an expert from Select Health. And now, can people contact you if they can't come out there tomorrow? How do they contact you?
8 a.m. to 8 p.m. that we are on the phones. 855-442-0220. We're on the phones. Of course, selecthealth.org, and I already mentioned healthcare.gov.
Yeah.
There's lots of resources for you.
There are people there who you can call up, and if you can't make it out there, and you can call up and say, I don't know what to do, and the deadline's coming up for insurance, health insurance. I need it desperately.
We can answer all those questions.
All right, this is Greg Reed from Select Health. They can tell you, so get a hold of Select Health, and I believe we've posted those numbers and the websites. I think they're on our website at x96.com.
You bet.
All right, Greg, nice to meet you. Come back again, okay?
Thank you, and good
All right,
morning.
Thanks.
The medical center theme.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Was that the one with Chad?
Chad Everett.
Chad Everett, yeah.
Yeah, it's very old school. All right, thank you very much. Let's see, do we have... we got coming up, we got boner fights. Stand by for that. A little bit of news on the way as well. Stand by for all of that. First, got to tell you about Omaha Steaks. You wouldn't think about giving steaks for Christmas or the holidays.
That's a great
I've
idea.
given this as a gift.
So have I. I've given it to you, Gina.
That's right.
It is an excellent idea. And like I said, if you can't be with the ones you love, send them a big package of meat. It's a family gift pack.
Nothing says love like meat.
Indeed. And here's what you get. $49.99 is how much the family gift pack costs you. Of course, there's shipping involved. But here's what you get for $49.99. 2 filet mignons, 2 top sirloins, 2 boneless pork chops, 4 boneless chicken breasts, 4 kielbasa sausages, 4 burgers, 4 potatoes au gratin, 4 caramel apple tartlets, 1 Omaha steak seasoning packet, and because you heard it on X96, they're going to throw in 4 additional kielbasa sausages for free. All that for $49.99. But here's how you get the deal. You have to go to omahasteaks.com, look for their search bar on their website. You're going to search their website for X96. Hit enter, and it'll take you to the place where you can get this 75% savings. It is guaranteed to be a hit this holiday season.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1-hour non-stop music wingding 3 times a day.
This is very unorthodox.
At 10 a.m., right after Radio from Hell. At 1 p.m., while you're listening in the workplace. And at 4:30 for your drive home.
What's all this mean? Can't you say it in English?
1-hour non-stop music wingdings 3 times a day. At 10, 1, and 4:30. Only on X96.
About. There's a very long hallway to get there. Yeah. So now she's plastered, and we're heading back to the room. And she stops at the entrance to this long hallway, kind of teeters a bit, steadies herself with her elbow up against the wall of the hallway.
Good Lord.
And
you remember
says,
this? Yeah.
And says, man, that's a long hallway.
I had to work up the courage to walk down it.
Well, apparently your bar manager, Mr. Ben Chung at Trader Vic's at the Beverly Hilton, Mr. Ben Chung being the bar
That's
manager.
who waited on us.
Was it really?
It was
Chung?
Ben.
He's famous.
He's he apparently mixed you a fine drink.
Yes, he did.
Ben Chung. He's famous. He cared. He made my Mai Tai with love.
He
Ben
did.
Chung did.
I saw him add the love.
Because I went there later and had someone else mix me another Mai Tai, and it wasn't as good.
Wasn't Ben.
Ben's the guy.
Well, you should have taken it up with the general manager, Mr. Chai Rohana.
Also a good man.
Yeah.
I saw him. I saw the name Chai on his name
There
tag,
you
and
go.
I chuckled because I was like, I love to drink chai.
Yeah.
I wonder if he uses that.
He's the
Anyway,
general manager.
So I get her to her elevator because she was in a different wing of the hotel than we were. Get her to her
I
elevator.
don't remember this part at all.
She took my hand as if she was going to kiss it.
Mm-hmm.
You're making this.
I'm not making this up. And said, thank you so much, Carrie Jackson. Thank you.
Good Lord.
I'm not making that
And
part
then,
up.
and given that, you put her on an elevator by herself?
I thought she'd be okay.
I'll bet she slept in the hall outside of her room for a good 2 hours.
I made it back and watched Dances with Wolves.
After a while.
So the second night, I got her drunk out at the El Torito Grill, and she got in the car, and after she made me take her to Cheesecake Factory to get a slice of cheesecake to go.
Well, we were on our way.
We were there.
She says, I'm going to get this, I'm going to eat it on the way home, she said. Well, she laid down in the back of the car and fell asleep.
I didn't eat it.
And then didn't eat the cheesecake because it had been out too long.
Yeah.
Third night.
And you said I snored.
Yeah, you did. It was so. She has a cute little snore. It's funny. And then the third was. was I got her drunk on good margaritas at Tortilla Joe's in downtown Disney and made her walk around Disneyland drunk.
3 nights in a row.
You're still
Not only-
hungover, aren't you?
Not only do I never do that, I certainly have never done it 3 nights in a row.
Wouldn't you like to do it again now that you've done it?
I can be drinky McWeather all the time.
You know, you can do that at home every night if you want.
No, that's just sad, is what that is.
Why? I do it.
You call it sad, I call it fun.
Yeah, but you're not alone.
I call it relaxing.
You're not alone. It's sad when you drink alone.
You have a son?
Yeah.
Honey, go get mommy a drink.
Go get mommy a Mai Tai out of the fridge. One of the cans of Trader Vic's.
I'm going to teach you how to make the perfect margarita.
Allred, Gina Barberi. What you got there is Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, we got boner fight here in a few moments, but first, a little bit of news.
A little bit of news brought to you by Don't Miss Last Hurrah, Salt Lake's biggest New Year's Eve celebration, December 31st at the Gateway, featuring live music, games, food, beer, wine. All ages are welcome. It's free to the public. Get details at lasthurrahslc.com.
People are requesting that you read some Barry White lyrics while you have this voice, Gina.
Love to love you. Fiery tornadoes of, I mean, it's like tornadoes. Well, they are tornadoes in the LA fire. They create their own weather.
Well, the winds are up to hurricane force winds, like 80 miles an hour or more.
Jason Kaufman was keeping his eye on it, ignoring a mandatory evacuation. He figured he had time to pick up and escape if the flames made a run toward his cabin in a remote box canyon. Driven by the winds, the fire roared through beach communities, suburbs, fruit orchards, rugged mountain canyons where people have cabins, but it's homes in neighborhoods that are being burned as well. We're waiting for the rain. We're waiting for a miracle. We're waiting for the wind to die down. But
I don't think there's any rain in the forecast, is there?
No. It's just awful.
So, you know, my Aunt Nan, she lives in Burbank, and she hasn't had to evacuate, but she said she's got her house all sealed up, all the windows and everything, and every day there's just like an inch of soot and ash that just makes its way into the house. It's everywhere. Even if you're not actually in an active fire zone, it's affecting you.
Some people say that they're mesmerized almost by the awesome side of it. You know, awesome doesn't always necessarily mean good. It's just almost not to be believed what it looks like.
You're in awe of it.
If you watch some video, it's stunning.
It's that one that's everybody's seen where you're driving on the freeway and the whole mountain's engulfed in. I've watched that video a dozen times.
Yeah.
It's hypnotizing.
Orrin Hatch is hosting a re-election fundraiser in January, according to an invitation that CNN got a hold of. He's still not saying that he's actually going to run, but he is holding this party fundraiser. Hatch is inviting donors to his 8th annual ski retreat, January 5 and 6, at the St. Regis Hotel in Park City. The suggested donation for the family pass for couples with children is $5,000 to the Hatch Election Committee. A $3,500 donation to the PAC is requested for 2 passes.
Passes.
The invitation is notable because many expect Hatch, who is 83, and he's the longest serving Republican in Senate history now, to announce his retirement. But he also now has Donald Trump, who's one of the best presidents I've ever worked for, he says.
United States.
He's got Donald Trump saying he wants Hatch in the Senate. So
of course he does. He's got the right letter by his name.
Because he knows I'll do anything that he asks me to do.
And
United States.
And Donald Trump does not care for Mitt Romney. There's pressure on BYU to scrap its beard ban. They have banned beards on campus since the 1960s because it was looked upon as if you had a beard, you were a rebellious hippie, and they didn't want anything to do with you.
Now everybody has them.
Now, then a while later, a few years later, they did. BYU did say, okay, if you're a Muslim or some Sikh or some other religious order that you have to have a beard and you're on campus, that's okay. That's okay.
You know Daddy Gary?
Yes, I do.
He went to BYU Business College, so not even on the campus. He was doing like a online thing.
Mm-hmm.
This was back in the 80s, I think, and he had a beard, and he had to drop out of the online.
Because online?
Yes, because he had and he said, that's
What?
ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Stuff it. That's what I would have said.
I'm doing an online business degree.
So are they going to drop it?
It wasn't until 2015, by the way, that BYU approved of beards on campus for Muslims, Sikhs, and other students to honor their non-LDS faith, and that's a tiny group. And I remember there was one guy who he said, I can't shave down, because my skin breaks out, and I have a horrible condition, so I wear this beard. So I think they let him do it. Well, the beards are still banned, but there is more talk that they might start allowing beards on campus because everybody has a beard these days.
And Brigham Young had a beard.
Brigham Young had a beard. Gabby Hayes had whiskers. There's a difference between beard and whiskers.
I say that ban whiskers.
No whiskers.
You can have a beard.
But you could have a beard.
But in order to get to the beard, there's a midway point. Come on.
The stench of bat feces has forced a New Hampshire elementary school to close 8 classrooms and work on repairs. The Telegraph newspaper reports a teacher first noticed the odor in November 21st at the James Mastrocola Upper Elementary School. Yes, I went to the James Mastrocola Upper Elementary School. What? Would kids really say that?
No.
What would they say? I went to JM. I guess. Maintenance crews thought it was a dead mouse and called in a company that found bat feces in a big cavity between an elevator, brick wall, and an inside block. Crews have tented off the outside wall, removed the bricks, sealed off the affected areas. They say the classrooms are being cleaned and tested to make sure there are no spores from the bat poop. Students are expected back in the classroom by February. Now, we had a bat loose in our in our building here, and it was mostly flying around the belfry part of the building.
Yeah.
And
what's a belfry?
It's where it's a bell tower. It's where a bell is.
Okay.
You put a
I didn't
bell.
know that.
You put the bell in the belfry. But the bat, where there's one, there's usually more. So I'm keeping my nose attuned and to the smell of bat.
You know it when you smell it?
Oh, do I? Guano? I know guano in a second.
Wait a minute, I know what that is.
I know that smell.
It's Boner Fight.
That's guano.
With Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, it's the winner of round 1 going up against the winner of round 2. Round 1 winner, shame on you, Zinke. Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke among other expenses, spent $6,250 of your tax dollars to ride a helicopter to go ride horses with Vice President Mike Pence.
Wow.
I think they had to cut the trip short and hurry back to Washington because news came in that the Vice President's cat, Pickle, had passed away.
Drain the swamp.
Pickle Pence.
And boner candidate number 2, the winner of round 2. What would you all do? A man says he had sex with his dead girlfriend because he was trying to wake her up. Those are the candidates.
There you go. All right, it's time for you to vote for Boner of the Day. You've got to decide which of these 2 candidates deserves to be Boner of the Day. Which one is the worst, 1 or 2? Put a candidate number, 1 or 2, in the message of a text. Then text that to us. 33986 is the text short code. You can call 877-602-9696 and vote that way if you like. Or you can go to x96.com and click on the box December 8 Boner Fight. You can vote online. You've only got 4 minutes to do it. Let's go. It's Boner of the Day.
Want music? Listen at 10 for a 1-hour non-stop music wingding on X96.
The good news is that I've learned that if you combine the mangosteen fruit with certain alcohols, it will cure cancer. And I've got the margarita recipe here, the cancer-curing margarita recipe right here. 1 shot of tequila, 2 shots of Zango, and 3/4 shot of triple sec, all right?
It's a martini.
That'll cure your cancer.
That will cure cancer. I am cancer-free for 15 years.
And there's your proof.
So there you go. What more proof do you need?
So apparently they really put this in there in the company literature.
Oh, hell yeah.
You see that?
You can't do that.
No. What you do is you infer it.
Mm-hmm.
Say, oh,
you get your distributors to talk about it. You
don't put it in your literature.
Look, all I can say to Zango is, why aren't I your spokesman? I'm cancer-free for 15 years. I found that it's the mixing with alcohol that makes it work. Why don't they call
reaction
me? This is a $1 million company. This is my ticket to a big pay.
And they're local here. They should know who you are.
They should know who I am, right? I could give them a whole list of recipes, drink recipes, martinis, margaritas, daiquiris that will, cure cancer and depression.
You're awfully happy now that you do.
I'm happy and cancer-free.
Everybody knows that Zango won't cure cancer. It's Tahitian noni that cures cancer.
Can you mix that with alcohol?
Oh, no.
No, you don't want to do that, no.
You don't want to drink that, period.
Wonder what does this mean for them?
They have 15 days to respond. My guess is that either Orrin Hatch will swoop in like Super Hatch and save the day because he's big on that, supplement business stuff, or they'll just have to take that out of their literature.
Yeah, I think probably they have to say, sorry, we won't do it anymore.
They'll have to tell the people who sell it, don't say that.
Does really cure cancer. Or we don't have any evidence.
We don't have any evidence that it cures cancer. But Carrie Jackson, 15 years cancer-free because of the magic cancer-free margarita.
Because cancer's one disease. I love that when they say it cures cancer. Because cancer's a whole bunch of different things.
Well, that's the beauty of it. It cures cancer.
That's how good.
Apparently,
that's how good this stuff is.
All cancer's the same. You drink this.
Drank all our good liquor, you big moocher.
I like that. That's a new one I put.
You drank all our good liquor, you big moocher.
The bad liquor's still here, but the good.
I drink a bit.
And I'll change this drop from.
What do you say you and me go out and get plastered?
To.
What do you say you and me go out and get.
Cure cancer!
What are you guys doing? We're curing cancer.
I am curing cancer with this magic margarita recipe, okay?
Right this second.
Hey, right this second, I'm curing
cancer.
Right now, even as I stand here and look at you.
Cancer cells dying right and left.
Friday on X96.
All right. Time to award Boner of the Day.
And Boner of the Day is brought to you in part by a delicious Cuban sandwich and about a whole box of Triscuits and a can of beer.
Cuban.
And get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with the Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
Oh, come on. You're doing that on purpose now. Come on.
No.
Drink some water.
I have it right here.
Okay. So we had Boner candidate number 1. Shame on you, Zinke. Ryan Zinke spending taxpayers' dollars to take a helicopter ride, go horseback riding with the vice president and his mother. It's his wife. Calls her mother.
Mother.
And then Boner candidate number 2. What would you all do? The man said he had sex with his dead girlfriend in an effort to wake her up. Let's see. I don't think I've seen the winner yet.
Oh, I have it.
Well, that's good for you. What is it? Who is it?
Let's see. Boner candidate number 1 had half the number of votes that number 2 did. So Boner of the Day goes to
number 2.
Number 2.
Sex.
I thought it.
Sex with a dead girlfriend beats Ryan Zinke horseback riding.
Why are you shocked by that?
I'm shocked. Absolutely shocked. Should really have gotten Zinke.
Shocked, I tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. What are we doing here?
I'm debating going to the doctor.
Debating?
Well, the doctor will tell you.
There's no debate.
You have a cold.
Well, that's just I'm debating because can they do anything?
No,
probably not.
Hot toddy.
Hot toddy. Yeah.
Hot toddy. That's all. See, what you need to do is go home right after the show and lie down and go to bed.
See, it's hard because Fridays the kids get out of school early. I don't even have that cushion.
This is when you call your husband and you say, honey, I am deathly ill. You're going to have to leave work and pick up the kids and bring them home, and then you can go back to work.
No.
Why not?
Because work that's an hour, and I'm 5 minutes from school. That's dumb. You come waste an hour of your day. I'll get them. I'm not like vomiting. I feel crummy. I would just like to go crawl in bed and stay there.
Well, will you do that once you pick the kids up?
No, because then Mohammed has basketball practice.
You have to take Mohammed. No. You have to leave work and take Mohammed to bed. No,
that's dumb. Because I'm practical, and that's not.
Well, where's Grandmère?
Well, she's around. Maybe
Sometimes practicality is dumb.
Yeah, Grandmère would love to do that. Yeah. That's what Grandmères are for.
Take your grandchild
That's why you're
to
there.
Basketball practice.
Exactly. You're there to help out with the kids.
Oh, I don't think so.
No, she would. She would if I asked.
Grandmère.
Yeah, but you don't want to ask her, do you?
No, maybe I will. I don't like to be a bother. I like to just take care of things.
Richie, would you call Grandmère?
Why don't you send him over to Tom's? He can watch them.
Yeah.
Send him over to Tom Barberi's place.
He's not driving them anywhere.
Well, that's okay. Just let him watch them.
They need to be driven. It's anymore, and I know people have done this.
Yes.
They get Uber accounts for their kids.
Yes.
Well, you could
because mostly what I just need is someone to drive my kids where they need to go. I would never do the Uber thing for the kid. I think that's weird.
Because you're afraid that
have strangers
that the Lyft
come pick up my kids, and
that the Lyft or Uber driver would immediately head for the border with your
you've seen my kids
screaming children in the
cute.
Car.
They
know.
I
want these. They're cute.
They know who your Lyft and Uber driver is. There's a record.
Yeah.
What do they have of yours, Dylan? They have your name, your address, your
Shoe
social,
size.
Nothing
shoe
bad.
size.
Nothing bad ever happened with somebody that you know their name and address.
They know
as long
if
as
you
you
are-
know somebody's name and address, nothing bad ever
I'm just
happens.
saying that if someone is looking to steal children,
That's not who it's.
I
gonna
don't
be.
think that's how they're. I know. I'll give them all my information.
Yeah, they keep careful track of those people. They know what if they wear a belt or not. You know
They
all of
wear a
that.
belt.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. It's important information.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It says Uber drivers are not allowed to pick up people under 18.
Oh well.
Although most of the time the drivers ignore that rule, apparently. But yeah, Uber driver. Yeah.
No, not gonna happen. So
you'll suffer and be sick and not allow anyone to help you.
I chose to be a parent.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call your husband at work.
No, don't.
I'm going to call him and say, look, you really need to help out here.
Because that's stupid.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, grammar makes a little more sense.
Right. I'm telling you, if my wife was sick like that, she'd be calling me in a flash. You need to get out here and get the kid. I can't do it. And I'd say, okay.
Is there an age policy for Lyft?
I don't know.
Because Uber says 18. What about Lyft?
I don't know.
Because I prefer Lyft anyway.
I'm not calling Lyft or Uber.
I think Lyft, but they keep, again, I know they keep really close watch on the Lyft drivers. Yeah. They know how many times a month they get a haircut. That's very important information to know what kind of people you're dealing with.
Who's getting a haircut more than one time a month?
Whether they take, well, that's it. If you are, they're suspicious.
I don't know what Lyft's policy is exactly, but I know if I went to pick somebody up and a little kid came out to the car, I would freak out.
Yeah.
That would not be comfortable.
You wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would immediately turn on the video on my phone.
Where's your mom?
From door to door. That would be terrifying.
Mom has a cold and doesn't want to drive me to basketball practice.
Lyft has the same policy.
Oh,
18 and older.
18. I thought you were going.
Watch me, baby.
Okay, see ya. Be careful though.
Bye, Dylan.
He's driving a long way, so be careful.
Kids use adult accounts and drivers don't check them. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. These are all things I don't have to worry about.
We're not doing
No, me either. Oh, wait. Actually, my kid can, little Bill, my giant son.
He could drive himself.
He can drive himself, and he can drive his sister around, too.
Do you use him in that capacity?
Occasionally. He has been my Lyft driver on a few occasions. When I'm not competent to drive, I've had him drive.
It says, I drove Uber for a while. People do it all the time. Lots of junior high school kids use it.
I guess that it's the Uber driver. It's probably not the policy to do it, but...
Yeah, but Uber driver, you're not trained to turn around to Mohammed and say, put your seatbelt on, put your seatbelt on, It takes about 6 times of put your seatbelt on to actually get the seatbelt.
Well, I think a good Uber or Lyft driver could solve that problem in a second, especially if he's wearing a belt.
Also, I think that's because your mom.
Put the seatbelt on the kids.
That's right.
I think it's because your mom.
Yeah.
That's why.
I only hear the 6th thing Mom says.
I think he's getting into another person's car, and that other person says, you need to put your seatbelt on. He'll go, okay.
The one thing I've always told my kids about being around strangers, check to see if they're wearing a belt or not. That's important.
How do they check?
You look. If they're not wearing a belt, there could be a problem.
Am I wearing a belt?
Right now?
Uh-huh.
No, you're
I'm looking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Carrie
I
has
have belt sense.
Carrie has the untucked
Say, I
shirt.
do the untucked shirts. You don't know if I have a belt.
You do. I have belt sense. My belt dar is working very well.
I have belt dar.
I have belt dar.
I am
can
belt
tell.
dar from the planet Remulac. All right. Okay, we got Boner.
You see what happens when we don't plan a break? This is what happens.
Boner of the week coming up. Stand by for that. Ranlife.com is the website.
Yeah, Ranlife, they're doing something special for the holidays. They're collecting shoes for the road home. Particularly, they want boys and men's shoes.
There's probably a greater need.
Yeah, children's shoes, though, I guess it is boys. So they really need a lot of shoes at the road home right now, and so that's why Ranlife is doing it. Of course, Ranlife is a mortgage company, a local mortgage company. I have a mortgage with them. They have grant money, by the way, available for mortgages. This is a grant that they offer to, it's called the Civil Service Grant. They're offering it to firefighters, police officers, other first responders, and teachers K through 12. It'll reduce your closing costs when you purchase or refinance. Visit ranlife.com for more information about that terrific civil service grant. And come by Ranlife and donate. 9272 South, 7th East in Sandy. It's Ranlife.
Well.
Bill Allred, Gina Barberi. What you got there is Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, 9:50 right now.
Yeah.
And it's time for Boner of the Week.
Yeah, Boner of the Week. Dave, the flower guy. He's a guy, what's got flowers. He's here in the studio. You got flowers?
Yeah.
See, I told you. I told you. You got flowers. What kind?
I got some roses. I've got some daisies. I've got some mums.
Mums. All right, Dave. When you see Dave on the street, buy some flowers from him. That's his living in the wintertime, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So you ready?
Mm-hmm.
He listens all week and he knows all these candidates by heart. Monday, Dave, you'll remember it was maybe men shouldn't be such monsters. How about that, Pam? Pam Anderson was saying that sure, all these women who've been sexually assaulted, they should have been able to protect themselves. They should take self-defense courses. They shouldn't dress provocatively. Okay. Shouldn't go to a hotel room by themselves with Harvey Weinstein. You should know not to do that. Then boner candidate number 2 from Tuesday was Orrin Hatch. We tracked this down, and he was this is the Roy Moore one. Hatch has said many dumb things lately.
It's hard to keep track.
Yes.
Really difficult and nasty things. This was his endorsement of Roy Moore. He said, well, I don't think I have any choice, or the president didn't have any choice but to endorse Roy Moore. He needs every Republican he can get. And many of those things that Roy Moore has been accused of doing, it was a long time ago.
So just forget all those crimes that happened all that time ago.
Yeah.
I was just about to lobby for Charles Manson to be released, but then he died.
Yeah. And then Wednesday, it was Don't Touch My Arm, I'm Heterosexual. The state representative in, I forget where it was, Washington. Or anyway, he he's sitting next to he's a Republican and a Democrat sitting next to him, and they're talking about land easements or something, and the Democratic representative touches his arm. He says, I want a little more time to discuss this, and he's kind of patting him on the arm, or tapping him on the arm, and he just went off on him. Maybe you Democrats like that kind of thing on your side of the aisle, but I have a wife and a child.
My wife.
Okay. And then Thursday, like Zimmerman, I was standing my ground. It was a tennis instructor who just whacked a little kid, 5-year-old kid, with a tennis racket. He said it was in self-defense. He's trying to use Florida's stand your ground law, like George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin, stand your ground law to prove that he was within his rights to smack the kid. And then today, what would you all do? Man trying to wake up his dead girlfriend, he said, by having sex with her. I'm sorry I had to say that in front of you, Dave, and I hope your mother isn't listening today. Oh, she is probably, huh? We're sorry.
Think before you pick these boner candidates.
We're sorry, Irma. Sorry. So who's the winner?
Two.
Number 2. Now, will your mother be mad about this, Dave? No. Orrin Hatch?
No.
Okay. Orrin Hatch, boner of the week.
Listen. This is just bullpucky.
Gina, I can't. I'm sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
Yeah, but then I still have my GoFundMe account up.
Oh.
My new tractor.
Yeah, GoFundMe account to buy a new tractor.
Dave the Flower Guy.
Just look for Dave the Flower Guy on the GoFundMe page.
All right.
And he's trying to raise money to get another tractor. All right, Dave. Thank you.
Yep.
Gina, I can't be thinking about Irma with every boner candidate I pick.
I think you need to keep that in mind.
I can't do it.
Dave goes to grown-up movies.
Who do you think about when you're picking the boner? Do you give any thought to?
I don't give any. Yes, I sort of do. There are boner candidates that I don't go for. Sometimes because they're they're violence against kids, or extreme violence against kids, or.
I'm always uncomfortable when people come up and say, "Oh, me and my kids listen on the way to school," and I think, "Ooh."
Yeah. Oh, the guy whacking the 5-year-old kid with a tennis racket, that's on the edge. If it had been any worse than that. Next time I find some, I'll tell you what I've.
What you passed over?
Yeah, that might be an interesting topic to look at. Hi, John Smith.
Hey, dudes.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine.
Great. Thanks for asking.
All right. Let's do the promo.
All right.
Let's see.
Guy in the chat room is making bets that Gina won't be here next week.
I've all weekend
to be sick.
Attend basketball and.
Can I play the part of Gina in the promo?
Yeah, why not? I don't know. She wants to do it.
Yeah,
go ahead.
On Monday's Radio from Hell show, we're back here for all of our regular Monday features.
That's right, John. But this weekend, please take some time to put together a donation for the Road Home Homeless Shelter.
Wednesday, December 13th, we'll be broadcasting from Larry H. Miller in Provo, located at 2125 North University Parkway.
They need things like coats, hats, socks, blankets, gloves. If you need it, they need it.
Then plan to see us there on Wednesday the 13th at Larry H. Miller in Provo.
Enjoy your weekend. I need to get feeling better. X96.
Well done, John.
Mm-hmm.
I could have done that.
Gino Barberi.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry.
Hey, it looks like. Are we supposed to? Can we say something about this?
I don't know.
It's next week.
Is that ours? Is that our special one, or is that?
Oh yeah.
It's just we're
next week.
We're gonna give away Star Wars tickets next week.
Star Wars.
We can mention that we're doing it. We just can't say how.
Oh,
yeah, okay.
But starting on Monday.
Star Wars: The Last Jedi, X96 special screening at 2 p.m.
Don't read. You're reading details.
Yeah.
Don't read details.
Yeah, we don't want to tell people when and where because we don't want people just showing up.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
No,
all right.
No.
It's under lock and key.
All right.
Just leave it at Star Wars tickets.
Well, people should tell us these things rather than leaving them.
If you leave things around, Bill will just read them on the radio.
Well, listen. Hey, it's classified information that I found face down in a pile of papers.
Eyes only, Bill. Eyes only.
Doesn't say that.
It's like the Trump administration. All right. What do you got going today, John?
I am going to do something very special because I'm stoked for SLC Punks this weekend, and I'm also stoked for Christmas. So I'm going to play some punk rock Christmas during my show today.
Oh, okay.
Right now, Newcomb's going, what? But yeah, I've got some. I can't decide if I'm going to do Bad Religion Christmas or Goldfinger Christmas. They're both awesome.
We'll toss a coin.
Yeah.
How about that? Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
I'm elbow deep in fruitcake over here.
John Smith is next.
Please keep listening.